Sporting a roster of just 23 young men, the Lyman Eagles certainly aren't the largest 2A program. The numbers might be small, but hope is in bloom as they try to earn a playoff bid after a 2-year drought. Under 8th-year head coach Dale Anderson, this band of brothers is out to make their mark on the 2019 season. Lyman football is live for another year on MyLocalRadio.com as their exclusive video broadcast partner. Catch the action live and online throughout the regular and postseason right here or with the radio simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM. With the countdown to the opening kick hitting 0 at the top of the hour, let's head to the MyLocalRadio.com broadcast booth to hear from the voice of the Eagles, Jake Hibbard.
Tick-tock goes the clock on every life. No rest, no pain, I'm in overdrive. Get your beauty sleep, kick up your feet, I waste it all. Me, I'm not stopping, I'm not dropping.
Is it cut and dry as we have the final week of the regular season, or will we have a three-way tie on our hands between the teams at play today? Big Piney comes into Lyman today to try and wrap up number 2 in the West Side. Lyman can finish in second as well, but they need a win today, and they also need points. Yes, it's like we're in Vegas right now. Point differential as a tiebreaker will have us all watching the score like we've got everything riding on the spread tonight. Jake Hibbard joining you on the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show. Lyman, Big Piney, next. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports.
Welcome back to the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show here in Lyman, Wyoming. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River is located at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way. You can give them a call at 307-875-2448 if you've got a dinged-up car that you want getting shiny, brand new, and that sparkle that you had back when you first got it. Call Yeager's Auto Body at 307-875-2448. Well, when we come back, we'll take our first look at today's contest. Both of these teams, Big Piney and Lyman, are into the playoffs, but the result of this game will weigh heavily on where and when these teams play and what seed they'll be at. We'll return to take a look at this contest on the First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Well, welcome into the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show one more time as we talk about playoffs this week and how the new tiebreaker could have an effect in this contest. Point differential this year replaced coin flips as a secondary tiebreaker in a three-way mix. The point differential is for games between the tied teams in question and capped at 12 points. So that means that if you blow a team out by 48 points, you don't get 48 points on that. You instead you get 12. And the reason for that is so that teams aren't just trying to run up the score late in the game thinking that, oh, no, maybe this could be the game that decides our tie differential at the end of the game or at the end of the season. Well, today we have Lyman and Big Piney. And as it sits right now, Big Piney is in first place out of this three-way tie if it were to come down to it. As they're 4-1 in the conference season. Lyman sitting at 3-2, and then we've got Lovell at 3-2 as well. Now, where we could get a tie is if we have 3 teams finishing at 4-2. Of course, Lyman and Big Piney playing each other today. And then in the other match happening tomorrow in question, Lovell is playing Kemmer. Kemmer 0-7 on this season, and Lovell is probably a heavy favorite in that contest to come away and finish 4-2 on the conference season as well. So if Big Piney wins today, they're number 2, and that's all there is to it. They'll have finished 5-1 with only a loss to Mountain View in the conference schedule. If Lyman wins and Lovell wins, then we have that 3-way tie, and that's when point differential comes into play. Now, again, this is only point differential between the teams in question, so Lovell and how they do against Kemmer is not of consequence today. It's all about this game. Right now, the point differential sits at Big Piney win the favorite spot, +6. And then you have Lyman at -2 and Lovell at -4. So the magic number for Lyman to get to today is a victory and a 4-point win, because that would give them a break over for both Big Piney. They would have won the point differential over Lovell, and then we would go with a tied point differential right at 0 between Big Piney and Lyman. Well, that would give us, go back to the initial tiebreaker of head-to-head. Lyman would have beaten Big Piney. They would have it. So 4 points and Lyman wins. They are number 2. Assuming, of course, they even need to get that. But if somehow Kemmer does beat off Lovell, then we won't have a chance at this 3-way tie. But Week 8 brings us the chance for this 3-way. And for Lyman, we're probably expecting a close one here. Big Piney and Lyman have been pretty tight as they've gone against multiple opponents. You compare similar opponents, pretty close scores down the line. Well, there's some other things going on in today's game. Carter Smith, the quarterback for Lyman, he did play last week but did not start. We anticipate him to start today. He has a strained ligament in his knee, and that brings into question exactly how much running he will be able to do. And if you've seen Lyman play too much this year, you know they run a shotgun single-back set that requires Carter Smith at quarterback to do a whole heck of a lot of running. Against Grable last Saturday, and they have a short turnaround from Saturday to now playing on a Thursday afternoon. He played in several series but did not attempt a single run. It was all throwing, and he was perfect and had a touchdown over 100 yards. It was his best throwing day against Grable, but how much running can he do? And then you talk to Coach Dale Anderson, as we'll hear a little bit later on. He knows that they'll probably have to do a little bit of running with him to keep the defense honest and not be able to just predict if he has the ball, it's a throw. If it give it to Hagan, sell out on him. On the other side, Big Piney had some injuries as well, as Julian Borig and Matthew and Tayton Wong again are out and injured after Buffalo. That was a tough game. They lost that one. More importantly, after they lost 65-7, they lost a couple of linemen, and so that shifts things around on the offensive line for Big Piney. How does that affect this run-heavy team as well? Tegan Elliott, a wide receiver for Big Piney. He's been hurt. I was told by Coach Visser he is going today, so that's one offensive weapon that maybe Big Piney, as they may have to go to the air a little bit today, can bring out to the game today. We're about 31 minutes away from kickoff, 41 degrees and a little brisk out there as we're setting up for a 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll be back with more of the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show after this on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on mylocalradio.com and KNY on 99.1 FM.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles.
I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNY on 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to mylocalradio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNY 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at mylocalradio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun.
Welcome back to the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show as we get closer and closer to today's kickoff in Week 8 of Big Piney, being hosted by Lyman. Senior night for Lyman, but when we come back to take a look around the valley, we'll be talking to a junior for the Lyman swim team. It's Kira Walk, and she's qualified for state in 7 events. That includes the 50 free, the 100, the 200, and the 500 free, the breaststroke, the butterfly, and the IM. She has the 5th best qualifying time in the 500 free, and conference swim is this weekend, and state is a couple weeks down the road after that. We'll talk to Kira Walk and see how she would like to finish out this season the right way and see how high she thinks she can place at the state meet. This is the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football, live from Lyman, Wyoming on mylocalradio.com and KNY 99.1 FM.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Kira Walk joins me, a junior at Lyman High School, a member of the swim team. As you get set to go to conference tomorrow, you've qualified in 7 events for state. And conference in swim is kind of like conference in cross country. It doesn't have any bearing on your qualification for state. You have to qualify throughout this season. But in the conference meet, what's your motivation to do well in that culminating event for the 3A West?
I'm hoping to make the finals at conference because it's kind of like a little miniature state meet for us, so you can still make finals and get awards and that stuff.
What are the tough teams in the conference?
Definitely Landers, they win most of the time.
Is that because they've got a big team?
Yeah, and they're just good swimmers.
How about how many people do you have on your swim team?
27, I think.
You know, that's actually bigger than some 4A teams. So you guys actually are doing pretty well. Where do you get all this interest?
Well, actually, me and a few other girls just started doing the USA team here in the Valley. We started with Green River and then started a USA team here, and I think that's drawn a lot more people to our sport.
You have currently the 5th best time in 3A in the 500 freestyle. What is the toughest thing about distance swimming?
All of it. It's just a long time of pain, I guess. Just trying to keep yourself motivated for that long.
Not that when you're in swimming you really have too much of a choice. The coach tells you where you're going to swim, but why do you do the 500?
Mostly because my freshman year it was the first thing I qualified in, so I just decided to keep with that and keep cutting my time down.
You currently are qualified in 7 events, which gives you options for state, but are there a couple of events that you're probably already favoring for that state meet?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the 200 free and the 500 free.
And the reasons for that is that as you're looking around the placement of the state, that's where you're trying to get into those A finals?
Yeah.
You also are part of some relay teams, I would imagine. Where do you usually position in some of those relays?
The relays aren't really set in stone until after this conference meet, but I usually swim in the A medley relay. I usually swim the fly or the free, and then I usually swim in the last relay, the 4x1.
So you're usually a fly or a fly runner, or did you say a fly or a free runner in those relays?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you didn't mention the fly as a potential race for state, but why do you get set in there in the relays?
I'm good at fly sprints, not so much anything over a 50.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't realize that with the relays. Yeah, you are doing a 50 of everything, and the shortest for a fly is 100 meters. What about the IM? You've qualified for state in that. That race is very different by design. What's the key to that race?
Definitely, I think turns are really important in the IM, just because all of the strokes, like transitioning from them, you usually get beat off the turns if you do the IM.
You have this conference meet, and then you have the non-qualifier meet. Where will that be?
It's here right now, but we might be moving it to Green River.
You've qualified in 7 events. What do you compete in the non-qual? Do you get a week off, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to try one more time to get the 50 free, because that's my last event.
And, I would imagine you're probably not doing that one at state, but what would it mean to get qualified in the 50 free?
It'd be exciting just to have all of those Q times going into state.
How close are you?
I'm about 0.3 of a second off.
What is 0.3 of a second in a 50-meter race? What's the difference?
A lot. It's like in the 500, 0.3 would be nothing, but in the 50, that's quite a bit of time.
Where's the places that you can cut time if you're looking at that? I mean, I guess you'll taper, and that may help you out a little bit, but if you're looking to cut time here or there, are there any things you can really focus on other than the simple swim faster?
For me, it's always turns, just because my turns are probably the hardest part for me. So I just have to focus on doing my tech right in all the turns.
What is the development you would like to see in your turns as you have a whole nother year of swimming in high school?
Definitely to try and, instead of being the person that gets beat off the walls, to be the person that beats people off of the walls.
You also are a member of drama at Lyman High School. Tell me a little bit about that.
So right now we're doing our state drama project. So we have 2 plays that we'll take to state drama, The Little Match Girl and A Mad Breakfast. And then in the spring, we'll do a spring musical.
How long are these plays that you take to a state drama competition?
My play, I think, is around 45 minutes, and then the other one is like 35.
Where does this take place? How does this work? And is it judged? Tell me about state drama. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, so state drama, you can take all these different kinds of projects. Like you could do makeup, you can do monologues, you can do musical solos, and then there's judges that are like professionals with theater that score you. And then you don't get like first places or second places. You get just all states or honorable mentions, and then there's a national competition you can go to.
So scoring is more akin to like a music festival where you get a 1 or a 2?
Yeah.
And how did you get involved with that?
I started doing drama in middle school. I took a theater class that they have, and yeah, I just fell in love with it.
This is off topic. Your last name, pretty straightforward. Your first name, are there common mispronunciations you get?
Yeah. Everyone calls me Kyra.
And you're not Kyra. It's Kira, but I think that's probably the most common mispronunciation. Where does that happen? Does it happen over the phone? People just meeting you?
Definitely people just meeting me, and a lot at swim meets where the announcers don't know me. At conference last year, they announced me as Kyra.
Well, that's Kirawak. Almost said it wrong with all that in my brain. A junior at Lyman High School. Good luck at conference this week and going forward in state.
Thank you.
We've got conference swim starting tomorrow. You can check out all of the Lyman Eagles swimmers in that competition. Then 2 weeks down the road, November 7th through 9th, 3A and 4A will be co-hosting their state tournament and looking for some high placements out of that final culminating tournament as well. We'll come back and shift things over to the coaches' end of things on this First Bank presentation of Lyman football on mylocalradio.com. This is the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at West Star Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit West Star Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. West Star Printing, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show. Located in Green River, Yeager's Auto Body has been family-owned for nearly 45 years and at the top of their game in the auto repair business. 307-875-2448 or 360 West Flaming Gorge Way in Green River, the place to go see them or give them a call for an estimate. Yeager's Auto Body bringing you the pregame show today, and it's that point in the pregame show where we shift things over to the coach's end of things. We'll come back and hear from head coach of the Big Piney Punchers, Ryan Visser, and then we'll close it out with Dale Anderson, head coach of the Lyman Eagles. Both of these coaches are into the playoffs next week in the quarterfinals, but who and where they play is on the line today. We'll talk about that and much more next on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on mylocalradio.com and KNY on 99.1 FM.
For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. I have Ryan Visser with me, head coach of the Big Piney football program. This is your first year in. How has taking to being the head coach of this program gone for you this season?
Oh, it's gone really well. I came in, heard a lot about the community and the kids, and it's all lived up to a great community, very supportive, and really a great group of young kids that came in willing to learn and really met my expectations kind of head on, and it's been a really good year.
After Buffalo, you were telling me some injuries kind of piled up, and that really changes what you do this last week of the season. How did that adjust to where everyone was practicing at as you get ready for this final week game?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo was a very good team. They're undefeated, won state last year. We knew it would be a tough test, and we honestly were hanging with them really well until the injuries just really started rolling, and by the end of the game, we were down about 6 starters, and in two-way football, that'll do it. So we got a lot of young guys, and we'll see. Some of the guys are going to try and go today. But it is just one of those things. Young guys are going to step up, and I told them it's a good opportunity for them. And this is football. Injuries are going to happen. There's no excuse. Next man up mentality. And so yeah, we're going to see some guys that were hurt last week. See if they can go. If not, we got some young guys to fill in for them this week.
Well, as you were preparing for Lyman, what did you see out of them?
They're a very good team. Very well coached. Really good fundamentals and technique. They're not out of position many times on defense, and they know what they want to do on offense and do it well. Just a really tough team. So we're looking forward to it. We know this is a tough game.
As you've gone throughout this year, I've watched a little bit of your team play. You got Caden Ross at quarterback. You run the ball primarily, but you can throw it a little bit as well. And from something I guess I didn't necessarily expect to see when I saw that pistol form, Caden's not too much of a runner. You pretty much have relied on those running backs to take it throughout the year.
Well, just again, he's kind of banged up himself. He's got a nicked up knee and back, so he's a big kid and can run, but we've been trying to limit that. We try and stay as balanced as possible, but we've had some really bad weather games last couple weeks. We've tried to really get that running game to get rolling. We're really young. Our line's 3 sophomores, a freshman, and a junior, so we're really young up there, but it's a good opportunity for them to grow.
As you get ready for this, it's a possible 3-way tie, depending on how it all works. You do know, however, if you win this game, you're number 2. What were the kids talking about, and how did you try to control the storyline for them as this week was coming up?
All week we've really focused on it's about the team in front of you. Take every game, one game at a time all season. So we've really focused on Lyman. We know there's ramifications on that, and I told them, hey, our playoffs do start now, and we need momentum going into the playoffs anyway, so let's just focus on this game. There's a lot of math involved. I know if we win, we're number 2 seed, hosting a playoff game, and Big Piney, I think it'd be the second home playoff game they've hosted in a decade or so. So it's a big deal for them. So I just said focus on this game, and they dialed in, and we're focused on 100% Lyman this week.
Coach Visser, did you have any players saying I was told there'd be no math when I came out for football?
Lucky for us, we got a good math department, so I don't think that's one of our weaknesses.
It's Ryan Visser, head coach for Big Piney. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it's never easy to come into a new place and take over a job, especially when you're talking about head football coach. But Ryan Visser has done a good job with that. His team's in the playoffs, and they've won more games than they've lost. They've got a great conference record, and they can finish it out at 5-1 today with a win over the Lyman Eagles. In just a bit, we'll hear from the guy who's trying to have a little bit of something to say about that and get a win himself. Dale Anderson, head man for the Lyman Eagles, who will return on this Yeager's Auto Body pregame show on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com. With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
We're almost out of time in the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show because when we come back, we've got Dale Anderson, head coach of the Lyman Eagles, and then after that, starting lineups and the opening kick here from Lyman High School today. This is the First Bank presentation of Eagles football on MyLocalRadio.com with the simulcast on KNYN 99.1 FM.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
I have Dale Anderson with me, head coach of the Lyman football program. Last week's victory got your team back into the playoffs after 2 years out. Take me into the sideline at the end of the game and how all the players were reacting as they started to realize that the win was going to happen.
It was exciting. It's been a couple of years, and this group of kids has really worked hard towards that goal. So it's fun to see them achieve that and accomplish something, we feel is an important step in our progress.
Well, you can now end up as high as number 2 or as low as the 4th seed, and I got to write this down so I have it all memorized. In order to end up as the 3rd or 2nd, you need to defeat Big Piney, and then seeding would be determined by just how much the margin of victory was. Point differential, the new tiebreaker this season, and I imagine it's one you've probably become pretty familiar with lately.
Well, I haven't really looked at it that close. I had my AD bring it in to me this morning, and a couple of my assistant coaches, they drove up to Grable, so they had a little extra time to figure it all out. So, yeah, we kind of know what we need to do. The nice thing is we control our destiny, and that's, you always want to be in that position where you're in charge of an outcome, not relying on someone else. So,
I hate to get ahead of things, so I'm not going to say, okay, you get the win and then this. But, does it the point differential comes down to 4 points would be the point at which Lyman was number 2, and that, of course, requires Lovell to beat Kemmer and all that. You got a lot of things involved, but I don't think I've ever been a part of a football game that has a point differential mattering. It's got to be something kind of new territory for you.
Well, yeah, it is. Anywhere I've ever been, that hasn't necessarily been the case. When I was in Idaho, they would do the Kansas City playoff where you'd go play each other. And, they used to do a coin flip here, and which that doesn't seem real fair, but you also don't want to go play a scrimmage on a Monday and then have to turn around and play a playoff game later in the week. So, yeah, we'll keep our eye on the scoreboard and make sure that, depending on where the game is at, what we need to do. And, we just hope we can come out and play hard and give a good effort, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and the one thing that we do need to mention as well, you don't win the game, you're number 4 guaranteed, so it really does come down to getting the win, and then you can determine whether you have a home game or an away game. But one way or another, if it's going to come down to point differential, it seems to be in your benefit of all situations that you're not like Lovell sitting back waiting at home for the result. You're part of the game that's going to decide it.
Well, and that's what we want. You always want to be in control of your destiny, and this year we're lucky enough to be that. In years past, we've always had to rely on, I hope you're cheering against or for someone based on the outcome of their games. But, yeah, so we're excited for the opportunity to be playing and still be playing for something. That's always fun, too.
Carter Smith played a fair amount in last week's game, and he came out, I think it was the 3rd series. And how did you weigh wanting to get him a chance to get into a rhythm in passing, which he certainly did, as far as that, and then weighing that with the chance that he would aggravate the injury?
Well, we wanted to be careful there, and so we made sure that, there's a couple of times about called a run play for him, like, no, I can't do that. And so, we kind of limited him a little bit and tried to be situations where we knew it was, probably going to pass. This week he's going to probably have to run a little if he's in there, because we can't tip our hat that much, against a good Big Piney team. You can't give him any clues as to what we're trying to do.
Final question. This is a philosophical one, not necessarily related to football, but if destiny is something that's already been predetermined, can you actually control destiny?
You know what? I'm a believer in hard work. I think that's the key to anything. You put time and effort into something, and sometimes things fall your way, and sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, you can look in the mirror and say, hey, I worked my butt off, and I did everything I could. And the result is what it is. And you can live with that knowing that you gave your best effort.
Big Piney and Lyman, final week of the season. Coach Dale Anderson, thank you very much. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, with the state championship under his belt as the head coach of the Lyman Eagles, it's been a little bit of a slide ever since that undefeated first season and 2 years out of the playoffs. Some lean years, but a lot of reason to be hopeful for the years to come, and this year as well for the Lyman Eagles. They've got a new quarterback in. They've got some great skill positions. They've got some good JV players who are going to be seeing more time next year and have kind of wriggled their way into some spots this year as well. Dale Anderson, appreciate him joining us all year long, and congratulations to the Lyman Eagles. No matter how this contest goes today, they're in the playoffs next week. Well, that does it for us in the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show. We have starting lineups in the opening kickoff next. That'll open up the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter on this First Bank presentation of Lyman football on mylocalradio.com. You can also listen on the radio on KNY at 99.1 FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. Welcome you into the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter, which will begin very shortly here in Lyman, Wyoming. Final week of the season has playoff implications as both teams are in, but where both teams will be at the end of this, still very much in the air. Anywhere from 2 to 4, all of these teams can finish out depending on how the point differential works its way out. Lyman won the toss. They will be defending the south end zone. Big Piney kicking off to start the game at the 40, defending the north. Starting lineups, let's start first with the Lyman offense. Carter Smith comes back out after not starting last week, but playing it throughout several series and getting a touchdown throw, 106 yards as a whole. He has 408 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on this season. He'll be at quarterback. Running back Hagen Lamro with 5 touchdowns last week, just one shy of double digits on the year. Preston Brewer back to that hybrid running back, tight end position, plays some receiver as well. Richard Brewer as receiver, along with Blake Palmer and Alex Bradshaw. Roe Meekum as a tight end. And on the offensive line, we've got Ryan Christopherson at left tackle, left guard Hunter Gines, Briggs Richards, and Hanson Bradshaw at center and right guard, and Landon Heaton at right tackle. Setting up to kick off is Carlos Munoz, I believe. Take a look down. Is it Carlos or is it Colby? It's Colby Lucas kicking off down to the far hash mark at the 10-yard line, and Richie Brewer stumbles and falls down to the ground at the 15-yard line. So a gain of about 5 and could have been a whole lot more. Not great field position to start off this Bridger Valley Motor first quarter for Lyman. And we have the defense for Big Piney coming out on a 4-4-3 look at the defensive end. Cam Thomas and Caden Raza on either end. Nose tackle is Wyatt Major in place of Carson Klein, who's hurt for this week. Seth Stoutenberg at number 56 at the other defensive tackle position. Tayton Wing, Dalton Bell, Brian Pluitt, and Liam Hughes at linebacker. Shotgun form, 2-back set. Carter Smith fakes a handoff, goes up the forward himself, trying to find a little bit of space up there. Gets to about the 20-yard line, maybe about the 19. Wait for the spot. It's about the 17-yard line. So a gain of 2 on the play for Carter Smith. And talking to Coach Anderson on the getting ready for the day, he knew that he was going to have to run Carter throughout this contest despite the strained LCL. He's got a brace on. He's feeling a little better. It's not as significant as a lot of ligament strains could be, so that's the good news, but they'd certainly like to keep him healthy heading into the playoffs. One back set, 2nd down and 7 to go. Lamoureux to the right, takes the handoff up the middle, races forward and scoots his way through a decent hole up the middle to the 23-yard line. A gain of about 6 on the play should bring up 3rd down and short. Let's say 3rd down and 2 to go. Give him 5 yards on the play. 3rd down and 2 to go. Richie Brewer into the huddle for Lyman. At the free safety position as we round out the Big Piney starters, it's Carlos Munoz and Jaron Petty and Creedon Shell at cornerback. Loaded up box, just one spread out to the right. Shotgun form, need 2 yards. Lamoureux takes the handoff himself, races to the right. 1st down and tackled up at the helmet level. Out to the 24-yard line. No, make that the 30-yard line. Miss of the hash marks there on my part. Good lead there. Hagen Lamoureux with the 1st down on the direct snap. Blake Palmer into the huddle. Preston Brewer is out for this play. 1st down and 10 at the 30-yard line. Handoff back to Lamoureux. He races out right side of the tackle. And he was tugged at the jersey at about the line of scrimmage. At the tackle there was Cameron Thomas. And no gain on the play. Thomas came in from behind to race him down. 3rd tackle, or 3rd carry for Lamoureux yields pretty much nothing. 2nd down and 10. We have Richie Brewer back into the huddle for Lyman on this play. Brewer split out to the left side. Blake Palmer out to the right. Have a 2 tight end set. Single back Lamoureux, the quarterback. Direct snap straight up the middle. Racing forward to the 35. Still moving the pile close to the 40. Should be right at the 1st down yard marker. And move them. A gain of 11 for Hagen Lamoureux on a direct snap there. So I guess that's our answer early on, exactly how Lyman will handle that need to run and need to keep Carter Smith healthy as well. He comes out of the huddle, so Lamoureux's the quarterback. He's hobbling a little bit. I think most of that's the bulkiness of the brace. 1st down and 10 to go. Ball on the 41-yard line. Lamoureux takes the direct snap again and tripped up in the backfield, but he's able to scoot forward to about the 44. Pickup of 3 yards on the play. 26 yards on 5 carries for Lamoureux. Hagen had 5 touchdowns against Grable and a couple of interceptions as well. No score in the Bridger Valley Motor 1st quarter. 8:54 on the clock. 2nd down and 7. Ball marked on the 43. False start or a offsides. Jumping into the neutral zone was Liam Hughes, and it's a false start. He was drawn in back up 5 yards. If the ball was at the 43, the 44, I think they had it just about the 44. 38-yard line, 2nd down, and about 13 to go. Lamoureux takes the snap, fakes a handoff, bounces outside, still on his feet, back to the initial line of scrimmage to the 43-yard line, but nowhere else. 3rd down and 10 upcoming, and Carter Smith still on the sideline to the right of Dale Anderson. Now on 3rd down and a passing down, obviously, you would suspect, or at least they want to give the illusion of it. Richie Brewer and Carter Smith go down, get the call from Dale Anderson, and now looking to see if one of them will come out to the huddle. A timeout whistled by Dale Anderson, first of the game. 8:10 remaining in the 1st quarter, brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. And if you've got a check engine light, go see Slim at Bridger Valley Motor and have them check it out. Glade Erickson also has 24-hour towing service by calling his number, his cell phone, at 307-780-3280. We'll be back on the Bridger Valley Motor 1st quarter right after this. No score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade.
3rd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 43-yard line. Single back shotgun. Smith hands it off on a delay. Lamoureux flips field around to the left side. Had nowhere to the right, nowhere to the left either. A loss of 3 on the play. Tackled there by Tegan Elliott. And also on the tackle there was, well, don't have a number. I think it may have been Seth Stoutenberg. But it says number 57 there. And there's nothing listed for Big Piney. But Tegan Elliott, who makes his return this week as a linebacker, a safety, and a wide receiver on the offensive side, gets a tackle there to get a loss of 2 on the play, bringing up 4th down and 12. Looks like we have offsides. Still probably a punt that moves the ball up past to the 45-yard line. That's still 4th down and 6 to go. Preston Brewer still set up to punt. 2 men back to receive. It's Tegan Elliott. And a low snap. Bounces past inside to the 20-yard line, still rolling to the 15. And stopped right there. 40-yard punt for Preston Brewer. Flips field rather effectively. 1st down and 10 as we see our first of the Big Piney offense today. Caden Raza leads the way at quarterback. He's a junior, 6'3", 200 pounds. At running back, Brian Pluitt and Colby Lucas are the leading ball carriers. Jaron Petty, Carlos Munoz, Tegan Elliott, and Dalton Bell wide receivers in this formation. Cam Thomas at left tackle. Seth Stoutenberg at left guard. At center, it's Wyatt Major. Right tackle is Matt Evans, and right guard is Thomas Howard. Raza in the shotgun, low snap. Looks out left side. A screen pass completed. Looks like to Elliott up the sideline to the 20-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds. And looks like he's marked out at the 22-yard line. Tegan Elliott on the catch and run. 7-yard gain. Have not seen a whole lot of passing according to the stats that were available on YO Preps, although Big Piney has reported just about half of their stats throughout this season. Single back set, man in motion, handoff up the middle. Pluitt got nowhere to go. Hanson Bradshaw stuffed him up. Nowhere to go there. And was that rather Liam Hughes in the backfield? Loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 5. Ball right at the 20. Shotgun form, Hughes in the backfield. To the left of Raza. Looks out right, has a slant pattern, wide open and completed to the 35, to the 40. Cuts back right side. Hunter Gines takes him down there, but a big gain and a 1st down nonetheless. A flag comes in late. Brian Pluitt in receiving. And taking it out to the 38-yard line, an 18-yard gain on the 2nd completion on 2nd attempt. Add 15 yards, or at least, 5 yards to the play on a face mask. Brian Pluitt playing out of receiver so far today. He's been a back. He's also been a receiver throughout the season. We have Liam Hughes in the backfield as the single back so far. 1st down and 10. Ball now in the 45 after the penalty. 2 receivers on the right and the left. Pluitt in motion. Handoff to Liam Hughes up the middle. 50-yard line and just across. Tackled up at the ankles down to the 49-yard line. 6-yard play. 2nd down and 4. Three receivers to the right side. 1 to the left, single back again is Hughes. Ball just past the 50-yard line. Raza rolls out to the right, completes it to Pluitt at the 50-yard line. Pushed out of bounds at the 43. Richie Brewer on the tackle. Picks up 7. Raza perfect so far, 3 for 3. Moves the chains and another 1st down. Big Piney effective so far. I was watching their contest 2 weeks ago against Big Piney and Pinedale, and both teams had the ball at about the 2-yard line in enemy territory in the first 2 drives. Neither one scored, so red zone percentage has not been perfect by any means for Big Piney this year, but they are effective at moving the ball. Liam Hughes takes a pass on a wide receiver split outside. Hunter Gines tackles him down at the 32. Picks up about 8 on the play. Down to the 36-yard line. And make it a 7-yard carry, a catch and run. Hughes again in the backfield. Man in motion is Pluid to the right side. Puts 3 receivers on the right and a flag in on a false start. As Raza called for it and was moving around, giving an exaggerated call for the snap. Ball back to the 41-yard line. First penalty for Big Piney. First penalty on the offense. The defense had 1 on the punt. Ball on the 41. Raza has 3 receivers to the right. Looks out that way. Fakes a pass to Pluid. Pressure comes in. He tucks and runs to the left. Preston Brewer tackles him at the 36-yard line. Short of the first down, but past the 50 in go-for-it territory. Effective play on 3rd down. 5-yard carry. Puts it back at 3rd down and 3. Man in motion is Pluid. Wide receiver faked up the middle instead. Close to the first down on the handoff to Kobe Lucas. And the 33-yard line is where he was tackled. Roe Meekum on the bring down. It's at the 34. 4th down and 2. Raza under center for the first time today. Single back set, and it's Lucas back there. Raza keeps it, trying to get the extra yard he needs. It's depending on the pile. I think he got it. He's a big-bodied kid at about 6'3". The spot is a positive one for Big Piney, and it's enough for the first down. Puts the ball on the 33. First down and 10, their 3rd first down of the game. Ball marked at the 33. Brian Pluid in motion to the right. Roll out to the right side. Raza looks for Pluid on a slant up the middle. Caught at the 20. Breaks through 1 tackle. Breaks a 2nd. Inside to the 15-yard line. A pickup of 18 on the play. Raza is still perfect on completions today. His 5th. 18-yard catch. And they're killing him up the middle on the slant patterns. Brian Pluid picks up his 2nd for first down yardage. First down and 10. Ball on the 15. Raza looks out left side. Completed to Elliott. Racing in, stretches it out to the goal line. He's either on the 1 or a touchdown and just out of bounds at the 1. 14-yard gain and right at the end zone. It looks like the ball's marked from this vantage point right on the goal. Looks like it's first down and an inch. Raza under center. Lucas the single back. Still have a 4-receiver setup, and Raza keeps it. Good push by Roe Meekum, and Hanson Bradshaw at the center to push back and force a no gain. 2nd down and goal. Now back to the shotgun. Lucas to the right of Raza. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Raza rolls out right, starts to go for it, then tucks and runs, and again stopped up short, this time for a loss of 4 on the play. Braxton Saby, Hanson Bradshaw, Roe Meekum, and Preston Brewer all in on that play. 2 minutes left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Still no score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Big Piney threatening, though. They dropped the ball back. Forward progress didn't get him quite back to the 4. It's at the 2-yard line. Second, no, should be third and goal. Raza looks out right, a slant pattern again, and Pluid is ripped down. Hunter Gines on the pass break up there, and it was all legal. He was looking for the ball, he waited for it to get close to Pluid, and then he stuck him down to the ground. 4th and goal with 1:44 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Ball on the 2-yard line. 4th and goal. Raza going for it. Lucas to his left. 3 receivers to the right side. Pluid in the slot. Look for him. He's been breaking through. Lyman with the slant patterns. They go outside. It's tipped away. Chevy Fackrell with the play breakup. And a goal line stand for this Lyman defense keeps the score at nothing. Turnover on downs, 1:36. And you got to stop the clock on the turnover on downs. 1:34, about 3 or 4 seconds came off the clock after the breakup from Chevy Fackrell. They tried to run out. It was Tegan Elliott with a little curl back. And there was double coverage coming in. 1:34 left. Ball on the 2-yard line. Race up the middle and great gain by Hagan Lamoureux on first down, pickup of 13. Gives Lamoureux 40 yards in the first quarter already. Big Piney started that drive on the 15-yard line and stopped at the 2. Second down, our first down and 10. Another running play up the middle. Looked like Preston Brewer on the carry, and he got nothing. Down to 1 minute left. First quarter brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. Second down and 10. 307-780-3280 is the cell phone number to call 24 hours a day, anytime that you find yourself stuck on the side of the road in need of a tow or assistance. Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor is there for you. 780-3280. Clock stopped at 50.8 seconds, and a false start is declined. So does that make it third down and 10? Well, second and 10, I don't know. I guess they wanted that play, so I guess false start was called late. So that was on the last play. So second and 10 instead. Split back. Carter Smith. No, it's Lamoureux taking the snap. He moves to his right side and about back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Gain of 1 for Lamoureux. So they've been keeping Carter Smith pretty wrapped up as of yet. They haven't been trying to throw, or they gave him 1 run early, and then he's kind of been out of that since. He's set to take the snap this time. Lamoureux to his left in the gun. 2 receivers, 1 either way. Look out to the sideline. Smith can't get it away and is sacked. He's brought down as he tries to throw it to Jet Dickerson, and I think they'll rule that he was, he got it out just in time before the knee came down. So 4th down and 9. Nowhere to go for Lyman. They pick up 1 first down. But they do hold the touchdown, and 11 seconds left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Line drive punt takes a big bounce at the 45-yard line. Blake Palmer touches it down at the 44. Big Piney will take over with 1.8 seconds left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter in Lyman territory on the 44. Well, the goal line stand, that was the big headline for Lyman. They've done that a few times this year. It's none bigger, as we've talked about the playoff implications with this contest. If Lyman can win, they are in root for at least a third-place finish, maybe as high as a second, depending on how everything plays out. Raza goes right side, out to Pluid. Completed in the flats to the 40-yard line, then inside to the 36. Preston Brewer on the tackle. That's the end of the first quarter. No score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. That's the end of the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. We'll be back with the Big Country Properties second after this on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Second quarter brought to you by Big Country Properties. Broker Bobby Dolezal is part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Commercial, residential, land, or ranch listings, whether you're looking to sell or buy, call Big Country Properties at 307-782-3356 or visit bigcountryproperties.com. Ball starts, our drive starts here on play number 2, second down and 11 in the second quarter. Pluid takes the handoff. He's moving backwards. Now back to the line of scrimmage. Breaks the tackle. Out forward to the 25-yard line. And after all of the real estate covered in the backfield, it's a pretty good gain by Brian Pluid. Finally tackled by Hagen Lamoureux. And the ball was spotted on second down and 11 at the 45. They get it all the way down to the 29. Pickup of 16 on the carry for Pluid, his second carry of the day. 18 yards on 2 carries. First down and 10. Moved the chains, and Big Piney were working with a shorter field. They had a 12-play drive that got all the way to the 2 but stalled right there. They've had a little bit of trouble. We mentioned that pregame. The first drive against Pinedale 2 weeks ago stalled at the 2-yard line. Handoff to Lucas up the middle to the 26-yard line, and they'll give him 2 yards on the play. Second down and 8. Ball on the 27-yard line. Starters out there for Lyman, as we should give them a mention or two. Roe Meekum, Preston Brewer, Hanson Bradshaw, and Matt Wolford on the offensive line. Casey Simpson at the defensive tackle position right now. Look out right side. Tegan Elliott wide open at the 20-yard line. Makes a move to the outside. Hagen Lamoureux can't wrap him up. Still inbounds at the 10-yard line. Inside and tackled finally. Out of bounds. A great gain from the 27. Spotted inside the 10, it appears, at the 7-yard line. And I have that down as a 19-yard gain, and Caden Raza is still completing with a high level of consistency. Down to the, let's see, was that at the 7-yard line where they place it? Take it away. Never mind. A penalty. Holding on the offense negates the play and makes it second down and 8. So back to the 27-yard line. No good. Raza in the shotgun. Lucas is to his left. 2 receivers split out right and 2 to the left. Raza back to throw, looking to his left. Up the middle has Pluid. Close to intercepted by Chevy Fackrell as it popped out of the hands of Pluid. They've been racing him up the middle of the field, and that time it went through his hands. And the first incompletion for Caden Raza in this contest. Third down and 8 to go on the 27-yard line. This is 4-down territory, and Coach Visser wants to talk about it. We'll take a break as well. The Big Country Properties second quarter. When we return, no score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at well child checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
No score still on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as Big Piney is driving on 3rd down and 8 on their 27-yard line. They were stopped on the 2, a 4th and go for it. Pass was broken up by Chevy Fackrell. They had a 12-play drive last time. Working with a shorter field in this play. Started at the 44 as opposed to the 15 on their first drive. 3rd down and 8, Raza, the quarterback in the gun. 4 receivers, low snap. Raza picks it up, moves out to his right. Pocket collapses. He works outside. Saby pressuring him as he throws it incomplete. Intended receiver was probably Tegan Elliott there. Maybe Jaron Petty had a guy in the short and a guy a little bit longer towards the goal line. The low snap forced Raza down to the ground to pick it up, and that gave Bradshaw and Saby a little bit of time to get pressure on the quarterback. Continuing those defensive starters, Briggs Richards in at nose tackle as well, Hunter Gines, Braxton Saby, and Hagen Lamoureux, Jet Dickerson at linebacker, Blake Palmer at safety, McCoy Smith and Richie Brewer. Alex Bradshaw also sees quite a bit of time out there as well. Shotgun, 4th down and 8, ball on the 27-yard line. Drive number 2, trying to avoid another turnover on down. Raza has time, now running out of it. Scrambles out to the right, into the end zone, overthrows his intended receiver, and that was Dalton Bell. Turnover on downs number 2. Drive stops with 10:10 left in the Big Country Properties. Second quarter. 3rd drive for Lyman. They'll get it on their own 27. That was credited to the defensive line for forcing Raza out of the pocket and throwing a little bit off of his back heel. No score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 2 straight turnover on downs. Got down. They picked up about 17 yards on that drive. Low snap, handoff to Lamoureux, racing up the middle to the 30. Good run on first down of 7 or 8 yards for Hagen. Carter Smith not doing too much. You haven't seen him run outside of that one attempt and haven't seen a throw yet by him either. 9 yards when it's all said and done for Hagen Lamoureux on the carry. 50 yards on 10 carries for Lamoureux. We expected to see a big day out of him, at least in a total volume-wise. Brewer and Palmer out to the right side. 1 receiver out to the left. Lamoureux takes the handoff again. First down and continuing to race forward out to the 43-yard line. And the line of scrimmage was about the 31, so they put him down to the 43, mark him for 12 more on the play. Needed about 1/2 of a yard for the first. Join us tomorrow. We'll be on the air for Mountain View and Grable. And then later on that night, we'll have Mountain View Lyman on the volleyball court. Shotgun form. Looks like Lamoureux out there. No, that's Smith. Handing off to Lamoureux. Right side. Races out. Finds some room to the 50-yard line. Still on his feet. Upended. Finally. And just past the 50 down to the 47-yard line. Colby Lucas on the tackle. 10-yard carry for Lamoureux. And that's right about where they mark it. 2nd down in inches. That is really close to a first down from my vantage point. It looks like the ball would actually be in front of the markers. I don't think they're going to measure it, but if you can look down and you get a good view on our stream right now, that ball looks past where the markers are. Either way, 2nd down and inches on the 47-yard line, just across the 50. Split back. Brewer takes the handoff up the middle to the 45, 40, still on his feet to the 35, spins around down to the 31-yard line. Don't need that extra inch. Preston Brewer's got several. 16-yard carry for Brewer on his first carry of the day. I'll make that his second. Down to the 31-yard line, 1st down and 10. Here comes Lyman on the offensive side. Big Country Properties brings you second quarter action. No score on the Benedict Market and True Value board. 4 minutes in. Split back. Shotgun form, 2 to the left. Lamoureux has Brewer as a lead blocker. Skips through an ankle tackle on his feet to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Lyman. Hagen Lamoureux opens up the contest and scores from 31 yards out for the touchdown. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We get our first score to the end zone with 7:50 left in the Big Country Properties for a second quarter. Setting up to go for 2, it appears. 103 yards for Lamoureux already. Lamoureux set to take the direct snap, races up the middle, nowhere to go, and the ball may have even come out. No, he kept on to it, but stopped short. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A 31-yard race for Hagen Lamoureux to the end zone, and it's 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on the Big Country Properties second quarter. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY on 99.1 FM.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region, too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
That puts Hagen Lamoureux into double digits on the season as far as touchdowns go. A 73-yard drive for Lyman from the 27 to get the first score on the board. 2-point conversion on Lamoureux's attempt up the middle. No good, so 6-0 Benedict's Market and True Value board. Braxton Saby setting up to kick away. Got Brian Pluitt and Tegan Elliott back to receive. They're setting up at the 15. Lamoureux had 5 touchdowns last week. That was in a big win and a running clock. Not sure how long it's been since Lyman had a running clock victory against Grable. Line drive, touches down at the 25, goes over the head of Pluitt. Fielded in the end zone and touchback. They take over with 7:47 left in the second quarter. Brought to you by Big Country Properties. Third drive for Big Piney. Lyman's third ends up going the distance for a score. 31-yard race after Hagen Lamoureux worked his way out of an ankle tackle on about 4 yards down the field. He took off and nobody could catch him as he was shading over to his right. I think it was Pluitt chasing him down the field. Shotgun form on first down. Man in motion. Pluitt takes the handoff. Nowhere to go. Backfield drop. Hunter Giants pumped up after the play. Loss of yardage on first down. A big loss. 4-yard loss. Lyman and Big Piney are already into the playoffs. But this game, let's say if it was a final of 6-0, this if Lovell defeats Kemmer tomorrow and we get a 3-way tie, this point differential of 6 would be enough to give Lyman a home playoff game. Something to watch throughout the contest. Raza takes a low snap, looks out to his right, completes a screen out to Pluitt on the sideline at the 20-yard line, still on his feet, now pushed out of bounds. To the 23-yard line, there was a loss of 4 on first down, so a good gain on second still just brings up third down and 8 to go. Raza's 8th throw and 7th completion. Have him at 72 yards. Shotgun form. Man in the backfield. Looks like Lucas. Look out. Tegan Elliott completed at the 20-yard line. Makes a step and a move out to the 30, to the 32. Should be enough for a first down. He did not step out of bounds prior. From the 23, where they started at, they mark it down at the 33-yard line, so a gain of 10 on the completion to Elliott. Caden Raza has been incredibly effective. in the contest today. 8 of 9, 82 yards. Elliott's third catch. Low snap to Raza. He's handled in the backfield, dropped for a sack, but a flag comes in late. And the ball popped out and recovered by Lyman. We still have to wait for what the flag was. Preston Brewer holding on to the ball. He's the sack leader for Lyman this year with 7 coming into this game. Referees are conferring. A cloud of dust came up as some of the grass has gone brown here. And it looks like the defense is heading back out for Lyman awaiting the call. The penalty is signaled against Lyman. No turnover at the end of the day. 6:10 left in the Big Country Properties. Second quarter, 6-0. Lyman leads Big Piney. This week 8, Lyman can have a winning season secured with a victory today. They sit at 4-3, 3-2 in conference. Ball pushed forward on the penalty to the 31-yard line. So they lose 2 yards, but they get the ball. They let the ball stays in their possession. Take that away. That's 32 yards line. The line of scrimmage at the 34. First down and 13. First and 13. So they lose yardage on the play, but keep possession. Raza in the shotgun. High snap. Pocket collapses quickly. Brewer chasing after him. Breaks through one tackle. Roe Meekum brings him down on the second effort. A sack for Lyman. Roe Meekum with the bring down. Second down and probably 13 or 14 to go. It was about at the line of scrimmage where I saw, but the marker is wrapping him up somewhere distinctly back farther. I think they gave Lyman forward progress on that. Back to the 27-yard line. Ball on the 27. A first down is at the 44. Second down and 17. Shotgun form. Raza looks for a slant up the middle. Completed to Tegan Elliott. 35-yard line. Racing to the far sideline. Hops through one tackle. Another out to the sideline. In space. 50-yard line. 40. Has Blake Palmer ahead of him. Cuts back in. Has to try and get the ball. Palmer trying to rip it out of his hands at the 20 to the 15-yard line. Finally brought down. A gigantic gain after close to a stop and a sack by Lyman. Turn that all around. The ball is taken down. Ooh, is there a penalty back at the 35-yard line? Bring it back. Everyone's coming back, and it is against Big Piney. A penalty on Big Piney. Erases what would have been a 58-yard completion on a little slant pattern to the slot receiver, Tegan Elliott. Well, it was 2nd and 17, and it will be 2nd and about 20 now. Yard marker at the 25. First down at the 44. Or at the 44. Ball's at the 25. 2nd and 19. Well, this drive or this set of downs is taking forever. We're on play number 4 or 5 already. And it's still 2nd down. Timeout taken by Big Piney. They trail 6-0 with 4:49 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. We'll be back on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY at 99.1 FM.
Meet the service and parts department staff at Auto Farm Chevrolet. We work on almost every type of vehicle, foreign and domestic. We also sell parts and accessories for almost all makes and models. Our staff is friendly and well-trained, and we are here to serve you. Open Monday through Friday beginning at 7:30 a.m., we invite you to Auto Farm Chevrolet for all your parts and for all your service needs. 624 Front Street, Evanston. We're a community-driven dealer.
$6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman on top, and 2nd down and 19 for Big Piney. Ball on the 25 inside their own territory, 75 yards from pay dirt. Let's run you through this game if you're just joining us. Well, Lyman started at the 15. They got a first down, had to punt it away. Big Piney got it on their 15 and drove 73 yards down the field. We're stopped on 4th and goal with a pass breakup by Chevy Fackrell. That could have been the first score of the game. Then their second drive, they got it on the 44 and had a turnover on downs on the 17. A 31-yard touchdown by Hagen Lamro has us where we stand at the moment. Second down and 19 on the 25. Raza with a single back, and it's Hughes in the backfield to protect. Raza looking to throw. Pocket collapses, steps up into it, holds on to the play. Completed at the 35-yard line. A lot of racing room to the 45. Hard tackle by Hagen Lamro, but the completion nonetheless to Dalton Bell out to the first down and a little bit more to the 43-yard line. A pickup of just about, well, what they need. They need to get to the 44, and they got to the 46-yard line. So it's a gain of 22 on the play. For Bell, that's his first. Raza, 9 for 10. Second down and 19 is not usually what you expect to be a gimme, but that's the way Raza's treated a lot of his situations today. Blitz coming up the left side from Dickerson. Outside quickly to Tegan Elliott at the 35. He's got to space up the sideline. Push down at the 27. A quick play. And a first down once again. Tegan Elliott had a 58-yard completion taken away by a penalty a little bit earlier. This one not quite as long. Ball marked on the 27. That makes the pickup of 26. And Caden Raza continues. First down on the 27. Big Piney trailing by 6. Shotgun. For Elliott. 2 receivers out to the left. Pluid takes a wide receiver end around to the left side. Has a little bit of space, and he's tackled up at the 23 by McCoy Smith. They'll give him about 3 or 4. A 3-yard pickup for Pluid on the end around. 3 minutes, 17 seconds left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Second down and 7. Inside the 30-yard line, Raza tries to go back and throw. Roe Meekum with his second sack of the series. Tackled at the 35. Backs them up about 10 yards, back to the 35-yard marker. Meekum's second sack. Loss of about 10 on the play. Third down. And see, need to get to the 17-yard line for a first down. Makes it third down and 18. 4 receivers. Lucas the lone back. Pluid comes in motion from left to right. Big Piney in the white jerseys going from right to left. Raza has pressure again. Bradshaw tries to tackle him. Roe Meekum once again. Back to the 45. Back him up for 10 more yards. 3 sacks on the drive for Roe Meekum. One of them was negated by the penalty, but back-to-back sacks. And wow, look at this field position. 45-yard line is where they back him up to. The defense holding strong for Lyman. Third down and 28. Bring out the punting crew. 140 is all. 6-0 at the half. We expected a close contest. And I honestly, coming into this game, expected Big Piney to gain yards but have a little bit of trouble finishing in the red zone because that's what we've seen throughout this season. Blake Palmer, the lone man, back to return a punt. Would be surprised and outright shocked to see a fake punt here on 4th and 28. One hop on the punt. Lucas is blocked and picked up by Jed Dickerson at the 45-yard line. Blocked punt. And Lyman now in decent field position with 1:10 left in the quarter to try and add to the lead. Well, Palmer was back at about the 10-yard line. to return a punt. Instead, it's blocked after it 2 hops. Lyman gets it on the 46. 1:10 left. Carter Smith hands off to Lamro. Through to the 40-yard line. Pluitt takes him down at the 37. 8-yard pickup for Lamro. 1 timeout left for Lyman after they take this one. 58.4 seconds left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Back after this.
We're here to help strengthen our community. Yes, that's right. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we take pride in belonging to our community. We encourage people of every race, gender, and belief to come together and give their all towards the betterment of our community. It's about people helping people. When you join our credit union, you also join a movement. At Trona Valley, we are thankful for our members, member NCUA, trust NCUA, a credit union system that is safe, sound, and secure.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and
2nd down and 2 to go. Lamro takes the handoff up the middle. Big gain, 30-yard line down to the 25. 1st down and keep it moving. The clock stops to reset. Give him 12 yards out to the 23. Carter Smith looking back to the sideline. 45 seconds and ticking. Hands off again, Lamro. To the right side, nowhere to go this time. Hughes brings him down. Hughes and Lucas on the tackle. Clock continues to roll at 35 seconds. Timeout number 2 taken by Dale Anderson. We'll take it with him. 6-0. 35.5 left before the end of the half.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Big Country Properties bringing you second quarter action today. Give Bobby Dozal a call at 307-782-3356 or visit bigcountryproperties.com. 6-0. Lyman has the ball on about the 24-yard line. 35 seconds left to try to score. Up 6. Smith back to throw for the first time today. Has a slant route up the middle. Incomplete. And Bell was in the territory, nearly getting a pick there. It was Alex Bradshaw, the intended receiver. Stops the clock at 27. Bradshaw comes in today with just 1 reception on the year for 21 yards. 2nd down and 9. Now 3rd down and 9. Smith looking down, getting the call. Palmer to the right as a receiver. 3 men bunched up to the left. Lamro the lone back. Blitz coming up the middle. Here's the snap. Smith rolls out right side as pressure comes in. Throws as he's tumbled down to the ground. Caden Raza got a hold of him. A flag on the ground at the 31. And that was tossed down as soon as the pass left his hand. And grounding is the call. Intentional grounding, the call, but there was no receiver in the area, but he's outside of the tackle box. A questionable call there. Backs him up, brings up 4th down, 22 seconds left. That appears to end the half, except for any crazy plays for Big Piney. It's 4th down and 9. Lyman's going for it. Never mind, they're going to try and pick up the yardage. They need to get inside the 13 to the 13-yard line. Lamro takes the handoff. He stopped well short, brought down at the 33. A flag late. Hanson Bradshaw and Cameron Thomas were getting mixed up as the play came to a halt. And I think Thomas is perhaps the guy being talked to. Be a personal foul. would be my guess of unnecessary roughness of either Bradshaw or Thomas. It's against Lyman. And I have to imagine the way the flag was thrown, and as I looked over, it was against one of them. It was a first down. It's a first down, and it's against Big Piney. Cameron Thomas called for the intentional, or for the unnecessary roughness. Bradshaw and Thomas got mixed up. First down. Well, it's not first down and 10 to go. It's it's first down, but they need to get it about a yard here. So it says first down and an inch to go with the penalty. Hagen Lamoureux, the only person in the backfield. Now are they going to try to punt? Oh, no, it's turnover on downs. There we go. There we go. First and 10. So it was a personal foul after the play, but they didn't get the first down as it was after the play. So it was ensued on the ensuing drive. There we go. Caden Raza tackled in the backfield. Preston Brewer and Hanson Bradshaw sacking him. Clock stops at 8 seconds. And close to a safety. But stopped at the 3-yard line. Clock rolls. And that's the first half. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. One touchdown by Hagen Lamoureux of 31 yards. The difference in this contest. And second place, third place, fourth place, all on the line in this game. The winner has the inside track for the top seed depending on point differential. We'll have the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show in just a bit. First quarter and second quarter are over. Both of those brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor and Big Country Properties, respectively. We'll be back after this. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
If you can't give your dentist a 5-star rating, then you ought to consider making your next dental appointment with Dr. McKay Frankham. One patient said, "The best experience I've ever had at a dentist." Other customer comments include 5 stars plus. And not only is Dr. Frankham the best dentist I've ever been to, but I can actually afford to have dental work done by Dr. Frankham. Make your next dental visit a 5-star experience. Call for an appointment today at 307-789-8910.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance in Evanston. Whether it's home, life, renters, auto, or more, Jeff Piper is your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Black's Fork Dental, top-of-the-line dentistry available right in your backyard. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Welcome into the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show, offering auto and home glass repair, 24-hour towing, and a fitness center that never closes. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. Well, before we get into the stats in the first half, I'd like to make a correction. I'd hate to call out an official and put his name out there, but I appreciate an official messaging me and giving me a clarification on Wyoming high school rules. There is no tackle box in high school football, so intentional grounding is the correct call, as Carter Smith was called for to give the loss of downs, and appreciate that clarification there. That's a college and NFL thing only, so no tackle box in high school football. Now on to some stats here in the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Hagen Lamro leads the way in rushing with 126 yards for Lyman, 18 on a couple of carries from Preston Brewer, and Carter Smith had 1 carry for 2 yards. That's it. That's all the stats we got. Carter Smith has 1 pass attempt. It went incomplete. And other than that, it's been all running. That 1 yard, the 1 touchdown play of the game was a 31-yard score by Hagen Lamro, coming at 7:50 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. That was a 73-yard drive. Time of possession, 2:20. Well, Big Piney, Caden Raza has been getting a lot of yards through the air, but that's kind of gone away as of late, as Lyman's decided to sell out and bring the house in on the blitz. It's worked. They're just getting sack after sack after sack, and I think that's a smart thing to do when you've got a young offensive line that you heard Coach Visser talk about in the pregame show, and getting younger with those guys getting hurt here and there. So you got a freshman at right guard, you got a sophomore at left guard, junior at left tackle, at a sophomore right tackle, and at center a junior. So they're testing that offensive line, and so far it's working. Caden Raza, though, on throwing attempts, 10 of 11 for 130 yards. No touchdowns, of course, as Big Piney is currently being shut out on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Brian Plude with 13 yards on 6 carries. Colby Lucas with 2 yards on a carry. Caden Raza, 6 yards on 3. And he'll be in the negatives. I need to account for those sacks as well. And then Hughes with 2 carries. Early on, he got a couple of carries, 4 yards for him. Other than that, he's been primarily a blocking back in the pass defense. Dalton Bell with 1 catch for 22 yards, 4 catches for Tegan Elliott for 57. He could have about double that if not for a penalty that called back a 58-yard completion on a little slant pattern. Brian Pluitt, 3 catches for 37, and Hughes with 1 catch for 7 yards. The first drive of the game for Big Piney, as we're talking about the first half here on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show, got all the way down to the 2-yard line. And it was a pass breakup by Chevy Fackrell on 4th down and goal. 83 yards. 73 yards is what I had them gaining in that, as they were stopped on 12 plays from the 15 all the way down to the 2. And I mentioned that at the beginning of the game, that I was watching Pinedale and Big Piney play the last 2 weeks ago, and both those teams had the ball inside the 5. I think both of them had it on the 2-yard line, and both were stuffed up and stopped for a turnover on downs. And at this level of football, it's interesting. If you do not have a kicker, you got to get it into the end zone. Otherwise, you're looking at, that's great, but you got no points to show for it. And I think right now Big Piney would love to have a kicker, as they have a couple of turnovers inside the red zone on turnover on downs. 1 at the 2, and then their second drive was stopped at the 17-yard line as they had to go for it on 4th down and long. Their third drive was a blocked punt, and then their 4th drive, it really never happened. It was 1 play for a sack, and that was the end of the half. Here on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show, Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness, basically whatever you need, Bradshaw's could probably help. I think they got storage as well if you're looking for that. home and auto glass repair, 24-hour towing added on to that. It's senior night here. We had the players recognized prior to this contest. We've got the cheerleaders and dance team being recognized over the loudspeaker right now. We'll take another break, come back with our standout student, Elena Jensen, runner-up in conference cross country. They're at state tomorrow in Star Valley. So we'll hear from junior Elena Jensen when we return on this First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com. 6-0 at the half. Lyman leads Big Piney on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Elena Jensen joins me, a junior on the Lyman Cross Country program. You finished second at the conference meet this most recent time out. It was on Friday. And at the Lander course, how did you feel about that placement as a whole?
I thought it was an awesome race. I had previously ran it a minute slower, so that was a big achievement, I thought.
If you would run the same time you did the last time you ran it, where would you have placed?
Not good. It was way windy last time, though.
Okay, so it wasn't necessarily everyone was increasing their time by a minute, because that seems pretty significant if that was the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so you less wind. What were the conditions like for this race?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was just very sunny and no wind. It's just a breeze.
I hear a lot about this hill. Describe the hill on the race for me.
So you start out and you go on pretty much flattish, and then you go down the hill, and so that it's very steep, and then you come around about the first or second mile, and then you hit the hill, and it's like it's really steep, and it almost feels like you're walking, but you're not. You're trying as hard as you can to not, but it's like you hit a wall.
How long does that hill last for?
Oh, it doesn't last that long as you'd think, but maybe a minute. Yeah.
And it feels like you're walking when you're racing with people. I would imagine this is probably not a time when a lot of people get passed up, or is it?
It depends, because a hill can either destroy you, or you can just push through and do well and pass people. It depends.
Where were you sitting at throughout this race? Were you at the very front the whole way, or how did the whole course go?
I was at the very front the entire way. Yeah.
And you were battling with a girl from the Bridger Valley in Mountain View, Katie Georges. Have you two gone back and forth throughout the season?
No.
Where did she come from?
I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. I didn't even hear her behind me, until the last step. So that's how, yeah, I kind of had a lead, and then, so I didn't, so I didn't know.
So this is, I did not realize this. She came from the very behind at the very end of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, so she came up right behind me.
And so this is probably still a little bit sore as you take it into state, some motivation.
Yeah.
The good news is at conference, you don't have to qualify. I mean, finishing second, you certainly would have qualified for state, but everyone goes on to state, so it's kind of a preview meet for the state. I hear the west side is really where a lot of the strength is, too. Do you know anything about any teams on the east side?
Well, not really, but I am so excited to race someone from Cody.
Who are you excited to race from Cody?
I don't know her name, but she's very good.
And isn't Cody on the west side?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you gone back and forth with her throughout the season?
I haven't seen her at all, and I was so excited to see her this race at regionals, but she wasn't there, so.
Do you know what's going on there?
Nope.
Okay. You moved in from Washington. When was this?
That was last year, around August. Yeah.
Then you told me you were in a town in the center of Washington with a low elevation. When you moved here, did you notice a change going into your sophomore season across country?
Yes, I fainted. I had a lot of, I had a lot of challenges, getting to this elevation and everything.
As a whole, what was the transition like?
I love our team. It's a lot better environment here. but the weather is definitely worse.
Came from a more temperate climate?
Yeah. I'd say.
How big was this town?
Oh, it was a city.
What are we talking?
It's hard to compare it with places here, but probably Rock Springs-ish, maybe bigger than that, but around,
Well, why is it difficult to compare the place in Washington? Is it because there's more around it as opposed to just sagebrush?
Yeah. And it was a weird place. It had like the city and then it had country. So it was very like long and yeah.
And of course the elevation was a factor in getting you ready to perform, but competition-wise or getting used to a small team, what were all those transitions like?
Well, I went to a school that was outside of Ellensburg, and it was Thorpe, and it was extremely tiny. So this school is actually bigger, and so it was an awesome change. I love it so much because there's just a lot more different people that you can find more varieties of people.
Cross country is a team sport, but it's ultimately individual performances that collectively get added together as a team. But you need people to push you throughout practice, throughout a season. How does the team aspect come into play for cross country throughout the year?
Well, we all sort of build each other up, and we just go out there and run. Like, you think about it, like, all these people are going out there and running the same thing as you. You know you can do it, and you have coaches there supporting you. And I think the best thing is when the coaches are doing it with you, because then you know, like, they're going through what they're telling you to do and everything. So.
You get Kevin Luke in shorts running races with you?
He runs the practice, yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I'd probably get the old truck out and try to follow you guys along. This week at State, Star Valley's a tough course. Yes. What do you know about it? I
ran there early in the season. It's going to be really cold, I'd suspect, because it's just generally cold there. Our elevation here is a little bit higher, I think, and so it's going to be nice to have a little bit lower elevation. And I think the course is just overall, like, evens out, because there is hills, but there's also downhills, which is awesome.
I was in the Bighorn Basin this weekend to do Lyman versus Grable, and I passed an elevation sign that said 3,800 feet, and I thought, wow, I'm like half as high as I'm used to be. That had to be a big adjustment for you, and does it seem weird in your head still when you say, oh, we're going down an elevation, and you're like, we're still a mile high?
I just think of it like, good for us. I don't know, like...
Elena Jensen, Jr. at Lyman High School, member of the cross-country team. Good luck this week at State.
Thank you.
And again, Elena Jensen and the rest of the cross-country program will be in action for both Lyman and Mountain View tomorrow. This time tomorrow, they'll be all done. I think it's at noon and 1 o'clock that they will be doing those races. You can catch all that. Results-wise, we'll try to get you some maybe Friday night at the volleyball game. We'll hear from Katie Georges tomorrow for our Mountain View broadcast, as we'll hear from her, I think, at halftime for the Standout Student segment. She's the runner who won conference and got Elena Jensen from behind at the last second. We'll also hear from Braden Walk, who is Kira Walk, who we heard from at the beginning of this pregame show. Braden Walk, senior quarterback for Mountain View. Kira Walk, great swimmer for the Lyman Eagles. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the third quarter next on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com. Close to the third quarter, and it's 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leads Big Piney.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Well, we've added about a minute and a half of clock time as Big Piney was late getting out onto the field, so we're just a bit behind on the start of the third quarter. We'll take one last break then and come back with kickoff. It's Lyman kicking off to Big Piney. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. The Eagles over the Punchers on this First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Do you like following your Mountain View and Lyman athletics when you can't make it to the game? Well, we love bringing it to you. Hi, I'm Jake Hibbard, voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes and Lyman Eagles, and I've been traveling around the state of Wyoming and covering high school sports for the better part of a decade. Whether it's covering a big culminating event at the Casper Event Center, calling a tightly contested Mountain View Lyman game, the greatest rivalry in this state, or kicking back and enjoying the views at one of the state's many hidden gems like the ballpark in Cowley, Wyoming, there's a few things I always see. There's officials trying their hardest, coaches sweating it out on the sidelines, and there's always a ton of support for these athletes from the entire community. MyLocalRadio.com would like to take a moment to thank all of its sponsors for making today's video coverage possible. Without all of us working together, none of this could happen. If you would like to support our future video broadcasts of Lyman and Mountain View sports, there's a few ways you can let us know. The first is, you can call our home office in Evanston, Wyoming at 307-789-8116 and let them know that you would like to know more about how you can become a sponsor of Bridger Valley Sports. The other is, you can just come up to me before or after a game and ask for more information. We've got a lot of different tiers of sponsorship and we'll find the perfect one for you. We would love for you to join the MyLocalRadio.com and Bridger Valley Sports family and help us continue to bring these games for years to come. That number again to call for the Evanston office is 307-789-8116. Or just come up and see me at one of the games and let me help you help us. And remember, go Eagles and go Buffs.
Second half has Braxton Saby setting to kick off at the 40-yard line. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Kicking to Brian Pluid. Picked up at the 15-yard line, racing for the far sideline, and a big hit comes down to take him down at the 23, where they will start their drive. There's been 4 drives in the first half by Big Piney, really 3 in one play, as that last drive lasted 1 play for a sack. And we'll have to see if the pressure continues for Lyman up in the front of the field in half number 2, as Caden Raza's 10 for 11, swinging and pretty much connecting on every one of the pass plays they dial up. Lyman, their response was, well, let's bring the kitchen sink. In pressure, Raza in shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball on the 23-yard line, first play from scrimmage. Handoff up the middle, and Lucas in the backfield, brought down by Preston Brewer. Defensive end for Lyman has been leading the charge in the backfield pressure all year long. Add Roe Meekum and Hanson Bradshaw into that, and you've got a pretty formidable defensive line for teams to try to run against. Loss of 3 on the play. Pluid has 10 yards on a couple of negative gains on 7 carries. 2nd and 13. Look out to the left. Elliott on a screen pass, completed. And he's out of bounds. Blake Palmer in on the tackle, along with Chevy Fackrell. Marked down at the 28-yard line. 8-yard gain for Raza. He continues to complete on those passes. 138 for his yard total. Tegan Elliott's been out the last couple of games. He's been injured, but he's still not at 100%, but giving it a go today and working out so far. 3rd down and 5. Ball on the 28. Raza out right side. High throw. Pluid takes it in. Smacked down at the point of attack, though, by Hunter Gines for a gain of 1. 4th down and probably 4. Another completion, but nowhere to go. Good stop by number 72, Hunter Gines. For Pluid, that's his 4th catch. And that forces a punt. 3 and out to start the drive. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman on top and exactly what the defensive needed. Playing tight, not being convinced of a fake. It is high, end over end, shading to the far sideline. Touches down at about the 38 and heads out of bounds in that neighborhood. Marked out at the 38-yard line. And Lyman takes over for their first drive. Carter Smith back out, hobbling his way into the huddle at quarterback. He's attempted just one throw today, 0-for-1. Underthrew his man, and he got pressured out. Actually attempted another one and was called for intentional grounding in that. So 0-for-2 for Carter Smith trying to throw today. Ball on the 37-yard line. Handoff left side, Brewer to the 40-yard line, out to the 42. Brian Pluid with the ankle tackle, 10:22 and ticking down. Brewer gets it out to the 42. Picks up 5. Blake Palmer out right side. One receiver out to the left. Shotgun. Give it to Lamoureux. Races outside. Gets a little bit of space, but that'll be called back for a holding. Bring him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul as Cameron Thomas got held and maybe even a block in the back. One of the two. It was holding against Lyman. Thomas got hit from behind there, and that opened up the little bit of space for Hagan Lamoureux that he did get, and it was an easy call for the officials there. Clock stops at 9:52 in the third quarter. Back to the 30. Need to get out to the 47. After that is 2nd and 17. Smith with Lamoureux to the right. Meekum as a tight end on the left side. 3 receivers, 2 to the right side. Brewer comes in motion. Handoff to Lamoureux, lead blocker of Brewer. To the 35 and maybe 2 yards after that. Pardon me, the 32, about the 32. 2 more yards, and it's 15 to go on third down. 25 yards on 4 carries for Preston Brewer. The defense for Lyman certainly holding strong in this contest where they need a win, and point differential-wise, they need to win by 4 points, and that would pretty much guarantee that they're the number 2 seed if they could do that, because to even force the 3-way tie, Lovell would need to beat Kemmer, but if you win by 4, then that doesn't matter. You're going to be the number 2 seed. Timeout taken by Lyman. And if Lovell loses, well, then you got the head-to-head victory over Big Piney and the win on that one, so the end with equal conference records and the head-to-head win. So right now, Lyman in the driver's seat to get the number 2 overall seed heading into next week's playoffs, the quarterfinals. Timeout taken here, 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY 99.1 FM.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Third down and 15 to go for Lyman. Inside their own territory, ball on the 32. 4 receivers set. Shotgun for Carter Smith. Spreads out the defense. Blitz up the middle, and early movement by Hughes. Unless he was drawn, which I do not believe was the case, it's 5 extra yards, third down and 10. For Lyman, Liam Hughes was coming up the middle with a big blitz, trying to shoot right at Smith. Got a little overeager. Third down and 10. Here's the snap. Looking out right side. A fade route out to Brewer. Caught at the 47-yard line. Is it enough for the first down? We'll have to wait and see. But the first completion of the day for Carter Smith goes outside for Preston Brewer. Right at the first down yard marker at the 47. Well, they'll put it out to the sideline. I think it's maybe 4th down and a half an inch. I think we'll have a measurement. Just short is the call. But there is a measurement coming out. I think it's just a little bit short, even though I can't see the ball. I'm just going off of where the referee was standing. Maybe Braden Bradshaw zooming in there. Our cameraman today can get a good look at it. It looks like he can't quite see the ball either. He's got a higher bird's eye view than we do. And they are just short, just a little bit. So, yeah, about an inch or two shy of the first down. Well, on the 47-yard line, do you go for it or do you play it safe? It appears that Preston Brewer is setting back to punt. That answers our question. First completion of the day for Lyman. Smith 1 for 3. And Preston Brewer back to punt. Playing safe right now with a 6-point lead. Maybe flipping field position, playing some old school football. Not wanting to. It's a fake to Hagen Lamoureux, and he's got it to the 50, 45, 40. Outside line, doesn't have any blockers, to the 30. Inside, 26-yard line. A big gain on fourth down. The fake punt had everyone baffled. And Hagen Lamoureux races up for the first down and a whole heck of a lot more. Placed at the 28-yard line. Lamoureux needed about 2 inches. Instead, he said, how about I take 25? Lamoureux with his 17th carry. 152. Snap, and Smith with the keeper. Up inside the 20. He got about 10 yards on the play. Smith's second run of the day. They've tried to keep him pretty safe with that knee injury. But he was not playing it safe there, and they needed it. Caught him off guard. Lyman inside the red zone. Marked on the 16. 12-yard gain for Smith. First down and 10 to go. Smith hands off to Lamoureux. In the backfield, Liam Hughes and Pluid wrap him up. Probably a loss of 2 there. Give him a negative gain of 1. 151 the tally. I have Hagen Lamoureux 4 on 18 carries. 7:36 left in the third quarter. Lyman trying to drive. Inside the 20. Second down and 11. Smith keeps it. Back to the 15-yard line, inside just a hair. Maybe to the 14 or 13. Marked at the 14. 3-yard gain, third down and 8. Well, this team, Lyman, they don't have a kicker either, so they've got to get it into the end zone if they're driving inside. Although we did see Braxton Saby last week attempt an extra point, and he looked like he could hit it from 25, maybe 30. Lamoureux the handoff, trying to get into the 10-yard line. He'll fall well short of that. About a 1-yard gain for Lamoureux on a counter play. 4th and 7. 4th and 6, I'd say. Maybe a long 6, a short 7. Smith into the huddle. Took the play from Coach Anderson. 6.5 minutes left in the third. 6-0. 2 receivers set. Pistol form. Brewer to the right of Smith. Early movement, and they caught him. Cameron Thomas caught on the defensive end, jumping into the neutral zone. 5 yards. Now it's 4th down and manageable. The call was the hard count, and it worked. 5 yards forward. Now 4th down and 1.5 to go. Handoff up the middle. Brewer takes it. Yeah, still don't think he got it. Probably a turnover on downs. 1-yard pickup, if at all. No gain and a turnover on downs. And Big Piney takes over possession. Still 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. No gain for Brewer. Needed about 1.5. Ball marked on the 9. Still 6:09 left in the third quarter. Sixth drive of the day for Lyman. 4 receivers. Raza, in the shotgun, has Pluitt in motion. Looks out left side, screen pass completed to Bell. Out to the 10, ball squirts out on the ground. A sea of blue drops on it. Lyman's got to have it. It's Lyman football as long as it was a fumble, and it sure looked like that was an obvious. Well, I think they're calling it down by some way or another. Was it ruled to be recovered by Big Piney? Is it recovered by Big Piney? That was the call. This guy, someone for Big Piney dropped in out of nowhere and fell on it. 2-yard run after the carry and then the fumble. Low snap to Raza. Looks up the middle. Can't get through one read. Then the pressure comes in. Sack down. 3rd down and long upcoming. I think Roe Meekum was in for his 3rd sack of the day. Preston Brewer in the area as well. 5:22 and ticking away. 3rd down and long. Ball back to the 3 or 4. About 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The Lyman defense again coming up big. And a timeout taken by Big Piney. We'll take it with them. 3rd and about 17 or 18 to go when we return on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on mylocalradio.com. 6-0. Lyman leads Big Piney on the Benedict's Market and True Value board.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
5:03 at the timeout break. It's 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Big Piney has a drive stalled with what I have a 6th sack of the day for Lyman. It's 3rd down and long. They've been able to convert on a few of these today. Ball on the 4, and they need to get to the 28. Need to get to the 19-yard line. So 15 to go. Raza takes the low snap. Up the middle and underthrows the intended receiver, Bell. He'll walk off slowly after taking that last sack. Raza, he's been dealing with a little bit of a knee injury, as we heard in the pregame, and looks like he may have tweaked it again after that last sack. Bring out the punting team deep inside Lyman's territory. Remember the Eagles with the pressure they've given today. That includes a blocked punt. All the way at the back of the end zone, Colby Lucas set to try and get it out of the end zone. Clock stopped at exactly 5 minutes. 3 and out for Big Piney. Palmer set up at the 44 to receive. Need a good snap, and long snapping's been a bit of an issue for Big Piney. It's again a bad one. He gets it just away, but it's not a good kick. Out of bounds. Probably inside the 30-yard line, but a flag down, and that's either running into the kicker or roughing, depending on. And Lucas is down on the ground, now finally getting up. Not feeling 100%, though. A 1st down, it's roughing the kicker. 15 yards and an automatic 1st down. 4:54 left. Coach Anderson mad at the defense right now that's been so good today. It's been pretty disciplined as well. Maybe trying to get a little bit too eager on the block there for Preston Brewer. Gets called for roughing the punter. Out to the 15, maybe the 17. And Brian Pluitt's taken over at quarterback. 4 receiver set. Raza was not looking right after that most recent sack he took. Pluitt, the read option, up the middle to the 19-yard line, gain of 2. Pluitt with his 8th run. 1-yard pickup. Well, we'll need to add Pluitt into the book. Not sure what that does with the offense, though. If that becomes strictly a read option now or if Pluitt can air it out. They're setting up in passing formations, back-to-back 4-receiver sets. 2nd down and 9 to go on the 19-yard line. Man in motion, puts 3 on the right. Pluid set up to throw. Pressure comes, steps inside. Up the middle, completed at the 30-yard line. No, pops out late. Incomplete pass. That was Carlos Munoz, the intended receiver. 2nd down and 9 becomes 3rd and 9. Still on the 19-yard line. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman, the defending team, on top, and the magic number is 4. We've got a point spread in this game. Point differential will matter most likely in a 3-way tie if Lyman can get a victory and hold on here. Pressure coming from the right side. Awaiting the snap. Pluid takes it. Up the middle. Here comes Brewer. Outside to the right. He's hit hard as he tosses it out of bounds. Stuck by Lamoureux and Saby as he tried to get it away. The pressure for Lyman has been a great dial-up by Coach Anderson and the defensive side of things for Lyman today. 4th down and 9. And set up for a punt once again. This time Palmer across the 50, setting up at the 44 on the other end. Colby Lucas, the punter. He got called, or got bailed out with a roughing the punter play last time, but he won't say that as he was hurting after that play. This punt away and touches at the 46, still inbounds and rolling forward to the 43, where it's touched down by Jaron Petty. Well, a 3-and-out ends up not being quite that, but still weren't able to pick up a 1st down outside of a penalty on the play. Lyman takes over on the 43. 3:44 left in the 3rd quarter. This is Lyman's 2nd drive of the 3rd. Pistol form, as we've seen quite a bit in the 2nd half so far. Now it's a split back. Brewer takes the handoff up the middle. Big gain to the 50, still on his feet to the 45, down at the 40. Finally tackled down. Big gain there, down to the 40-yard line, a 1st down and a little bit more. 17-yard run for Preston Brewer. First down and 10. And mark it at the 41. Huddle breaks and 1st down and 10 for Lyman across the 50. Still trying to get that go-ahead by another possession score. They're up 6-0 right now. Direct snap, fake to Lamoureux. Smith instead takes it up the middle. And he gets a couple of yards to the 38-yard line. Pick him 3. No, I got the ball wrong. That was a different pile. He got all the way down to the 35. Mark it down with his knee at the 37. 4-yard pickup. 2nd down and 6 to go. Ball on the 36-yard line. Pistol form again. A direct snap to Smith. He goes nowhere on the play. They'll give him maybe 1. On the 36 where it stays, they back it up to the 37. 3rd down and 6 to play. 6-0, 2:15 left. Lyman on top of Big Piney, but their offense has been stalling as well. Brewer to the right and a tight end. Shotgun. Lamoureux takes the handoff at the 30-yard line. Still on his feet, close to the 1st down at the 30. He's maybe a yard shy. Going for it, though, no question about it. Coach Anderson doesn't even hesitate. He'll give the play out to Palmer. 1 yard short, and maybe about a half a yard. 5-yard pickup on his 20th carry. 157 yards for Hagen Lamoureux. Stuffed up in the shotgun. Smith takes a low snap, bobbles it, picks it up. That probably holds him from getting the 1st down as Brian Pluid had time to get into the backfield. And that's probably a turnover on downs. Looked like he was stopped a yard shy. And they'll put it out close to the markers, and it looks like they've signaled Big Piney football. Turnover on downs. The third consecutive of the quarter. Or third in a row, rather, for Lyman. They had a turnover on downs to end their drive in the at the end of the Big Country Properties second. Gives it back to Big Piney. Big Piney takes over just past their own 35. 36-yard line. Brian Pluid comes back out at quarterback. Liam Hughes, the running back. Caden Raza was already dealing with some injuries coming into the game, and looks like that's only been aggravated. Split back, shotgun. One receiver either way. 8 in the box for Pinedale. Pluid keeps it up the middle. Looks out left side. Preston Brewer hangs him up and leaves him out to dry. No gain on the play. A late flag, however, pops up from the head official. Extracurricular after the play. And wait for which side. It's marked back to the line of scrimmage. And referee was talking to Big Piney, and it looks like it's against them. Misconduct on Big Piney backs them up. Clock stopped at 1:25 left in the third quarter. We'll have the Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance. Fourth quarter. Nope, had our video freeze here. Just a second, I should be able to fix that right up. That's what I hope. There we go. Got the video back up. I think we were down for just a second or two. First down and 25. Ball on the 15. Shotgun again. Pluid. We've seen one pass attempt for him. He goes back, has some protection in time. Needs to find someone, though. Hanson Bradshaw flushes him out. Up to the middle, underthrown, intended. It was a close to Hagen Lamoureux as Munoz almost came up with it. Well, it was an underthrow by Pluid. Hagen Lamoureux was in the neighborhood of having a chance to get an interception, but even he was a little bit short. Third down and 25. And Pluid out at quarterback still. Lucas to the left. Two receivers on the left, two to the right. Dime package from Lyman. Man in motion, puts 3 on the left, and illegal motion. And a false start on Big Piney will put him back 5 more yards. They got the play off, however, it was blown dead at the snap. Big Piney just did not see it. So the play was allowed to happen. It's declined by Coach Anderson. And it's fourth down and 25. Back to receive. The punt is Palmer. 3 and out for Big Piney. It's been an absolute stalemate in the second half. A 6-0 score. We can't say it's been much of anything other than that the whole way. 1 minute left before the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. A decent punt. No end-over-end action, but it bounces forward close to the 50 for Lyman. The only play that's broken this game open is a 31-yard touchdown run by Hagen Lamoureux back in the second quarter, about midway through in the Big Country Properties second. Ball came out of bounds just before the 50-yard line, so Lyman takes over on the 47. 52 seconds left. In the third, split back shotgun. Look for the handoff to Brewer. Low snap again. It is to Brewer up the left side. Nowhere to go, 1 yard on the carry. Clock runs down. Probably see just one more play here in the third. And then we'll be on to the fourth. I was thinking back, we haven't had too many good fourth quarters on our coverage this year, whether it was Mountain View or Lyman. There's been blowouts one way or another. I think this one is certainly heading that way. 6-0 as we get close to the end of the third. 20 seconds left. Lamoureux for the direct snap. Blitz up the middle from Hughes. Upcoming. Here's the snap to Lamoureux. Up the middle. He found some space to the 41-yard line. Picks up 7 on the play. And the third quarter ends 3-2-1, 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 3rd down and 6. When we come back on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY on 99.1 FM.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankham, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. Westar Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, Westar is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
First play of the fourth quarter, Lamoureux up the middle, and a flag comes in late as he picked up the first down yardage necessary. However, we have to wait and see. Is it a holding call to bring back Lyman? And it sure looks that way by the reaction of the players for Blue. Marker at 41 and is backed up. So make it 3rd down and long, 10 yards back to the 30 or the 46-yard line. Gigantic penalty there. The first down yard marker is on the 38 on the other side. 3rd down and 16 to go. Third down and 17 after what would have been a first down. And in the backfield there, we did not see Carter Smith. He races back out to the huddle here. It was 3 running backs in the backfield. Lamoureux taking the direct snap, Preston Brewer, and then Braxton Saby also back there. Shotgun set has Lamoureux to the right, 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Looking out right side, has a single man. It's Palmer out and overthrows him at the 35-yard line. And incompletion to brings up 4th down. 6-0 as we welcome you into the fourth quarter, brought to you by Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance. 307-789-5489, the number to call is Jeff Piper in Evanston, your local farmers agent, serving all of southwest Wyoming. Jeff can break it down for you and show just how much you can save by bundling your insurance with Farmers. Jeff knows the insurance game, serving the Bridger Valley, Evanston, and southwest Wyoming. Again, the number to call, 789-5489. Well, we have a punt upcoming. Preston Brewer kicking away to 2 would-be receivers, Tegan Elliott and Brian Pluitt at the 23. It's a missed snap. He got it off the bottom of his foot. It's picked up at the 42, but a flag comes up. Braden Hymas picked it up. That was a terrible punt. The flag is brought up. It's Big Piney football on a 1-yard punt. He kicked it off the very front of his big toe, and it went nowhere. That was a big miss there. We do have a little bit of a breeze there. It's cold outside, but just a big miss. Big Piney takes over on the 43. 11:44 left in the game. Low snap, right side rollout. Pluitt has to tuck and run to the 40. Hit hard, but breaks through it. Breaks one tackle, then another. Out to the 35. Big gain there for Pluitt on a broken play. First down. 12-yard gain for Pluitt. Pardon me, I missaw that one. 2nd down and 7. 18 yards for Pluitt on his carries today, 9 in all. Marked at the 35. Across the 50. Big Piney down 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. a score here, turn the game around? Does Big Piney have a chance to take a lead on an extra point? Would anticipate them going for two. Elliott in motion, takes the handoff on the end around, has some room to work with out in the sidelines to the 30-yard line. Still on his feet, out to the 25, and brought down there. First down and a little bit more. Big gain there. 10-yard carry. Make it a 9 as they mark it down at the 26. First carry of the day for Elliott on an end around. First down and 10 on the 26-yard line. Pluid replacing Raza back in the third after a big sack. Man in motion is Elliott. Fakes the snap. Pluid keeps it. Hanson Bradshaw wraps him up in the backfield. No gain there, and Bradshaw with a big wrap around. Loss of 1. Grabbed him up at the shoulder level. Hanson, a big dude at about 209, 5'9". Strong kid. Always see him working out in the weight room. 2nd and 11. Back to the 27. Pluid looking down to the far sideline. Coach Visser taking over for Aaron McKelkey this year, who left to become the head coach of Kelly Walsh. Has his team at 4-1 in the conference season, but down right now. Low snap is bobbled. Pluid picks it up, races out, runs for it. Flag in the backfield, and it looks like it's against Big Piney. And if that's Bradshaw, no, that's Roe Meekum getting mixed up with Cameron Thomas again. And that probably brings that back. What would have been a positive gain, back him up. They're marking it back on the block in the back on Roe Meekum. 9:58 left in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. A close one here with implications of playoffs on the line. Back to the 41. Second and 25, 9:55. The clock starts to move again. Pluid in the shotgun. Right side has Lucas. Looks to throw. Out up the middle in a crossing pattern. Completed to Bell at the 40. Down to the 35 and then to the 30. Inside to the 27. McCoy Smith makes the tackle. 15-yard gain on the play. Still a ways to go for the first down. First completion today for Pluid. Flag after the play. And I think it's just a warning on Coach Anderson for getting out past the designated part of the sideline. 39 yards on 3 catches for Dalton Bell. Third down and 10. Marked at the 26. Pluid, the quarterback. Bell up on the line. They've got everyone bunched up close to the line. 4 receivers, but both are just a couple of inches to the left or right of the tackles. Back to throw is Pluid. Flushed out by Saby. He's got some space. Tucks and runs and breaks a tackle of Chevy Fackrell. Hunter Gines and Blake Palmer breaking him down to the 20-yard line. Gain of 6. He'll pick up. It's down to about the 20. About 6 on the gain. Fourth down and 4 to go. 23 yards for Pluid. And you are sitting at the 20-yard line, 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This is as good of chance as you've had in a while for Big Piney, down 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Trying to get another 4 yards here. Fourth down. Need to get to the 16. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun form for Pluid and a flag in the backfield. And what is the call? It's against Big Piney. Back them up 5 yards. A delay of game, perhaps? Looked like a delay of game is the call. 4th down and 9. Still have to go for it, but some of the momentum taken and take a little of the air out of the sail there. Timeout taken by Coach Visser. 4th and 9 when we return on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board with 8:04 left in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman Football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance.
It was 4th down and 4 to go on the 20-yard line, and then Big Piney had just not enough time to get the play in and called. 40-second clock ran out, and make it 4th down and 9 on the 25. Need to get down to the 16. Blewett, the quarterback, replacing Raza in the third quarter due to injury. 3 receivers to the right side and 1 to the left. Single back. And quarter defense from Lyman. Out to the left side. Blewett throws in desperation, intended for Elliott. He caught it, but I think it was out of bounds. A turnover on downs gives the ball back to Lyman with 7:55 left in the Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And we've got another guy coming up, gimpy for Big Piney. It's Braden Hymas, the sophomore, not looking at 100%. He's looking at about 85, maybe 65 right now. He is limping mightily on one of his legs. Carter Smith into the huddle. Well, that all leads to a turnover on downs. Their third of the game. Lyman takes over on the 25. Smith gives the handoff to Lamoureux. Bounces outside of the tackles. A little bit of space. Gain of 3 on the play. Liam Hughes on the tackle. It was up the middle. And then he bounced outside. Found a little bit of space. Give him 2.5 on the carry. 22 carries for Hagen Lamoureux. 166 yards. Just one completed pass today for Lyman. That was of 15 yards. Brewer, the back to the left, leading for Lamoureux, who takes the handoff to the right. It's a counter play. Little bit of space for Lamoureux. Spun around, past the 35-yard line. 3rd down and about 4 to go. Depend on the spot. They give it out generously out to about the 33. And 3rd and 3 to come.
This is a huge play.
171 yards for Lamoureux. And the clock moving down at 6:48 in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. This play, a first down here, would mean another couple of minutes off the clock with a 6-0 lead for Lyman. Handoff to Lamoureux. Not going to get it. He's down in the backfield. At the 30, he loses about 3 yards on the carry, and it's another punt. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 4th down and 5 to go. Right now, Lyman's in okay shape if they can hang on to this lead because, as we mentioned, if you're just joining us, both these teams in the playoffs, but both fighting for positioning. A win here today for Lyman and would mean they could potentially get into a 3-way tie if Lovell, which we all expect to beat Kemmer tomorrow, happens. Low snap, Brewer just picks it up, has to run with it. He's got to get some space. To the 30, to the 35. He's got a first down to the 40, 45, to the 46. A broken punt by Preston Brewer goes for a first down, Lyman. And they're running with it. Fresh set. 1st and 10, Lyman. The clock stops at 5:52. That was the broken play of the century for the Lyman Eagles, trying to race their way into a quarterfinal home game. Marked at the 47. A missed punt goes for 17 yards by Preston Brewer. 59 yards on 7 carries now. Give it to him. 5:38. And ticking down in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth. Smith has Lamoureux to the left. One receiver, left side is Palmer. Lamoureux takes the handoff. Nowhere to go. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if that. 2nd down and about 10. Well, we said to get a couple more minutes off the clock, and that was not what Lyman intended to do with that low snap, but without any option to punt it away, Preston had to hope for the best, and he picks up 17 on the run out to the 47. It's 2nd down and 9. If Lyman wins this game by more than 4, they should be the number 2 seed. 3-way tie or otherwise. Handoff again, Lamro, sweep right side. Flag in at the 50-yard line as he crosses it down to the 47. Looks like we'll have holding probably bringing it back. And the spot of the foul's at 48, signaling 2nd down and long upcoming for Lyman. Mark it back to probably about the 38. 4:46 in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter remaining. 6-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Big Piney has been shut out. Their opening drive went down to the 2-yard line, but a goal line stand by Lyman. As we saw back at the beginning of the season, every one of these conference games mattered just as much. A 19-13 victory was secured by Lyman by a goal line stand at the end of the contest, which then gave them the ball back to run out the clock. Bound to the 38 as expected. 2nd down and very long to go, about 20. Handoff Lamoureux. Back to the 41. Hughes on the tackle. 3-yard carry for Lamoureux. He's up to 26 carries. 172 yards, the only score for either side today. The clock's down to 4:03. Smith into the huddle. Palmer took the play in, now set up on the line at the 30, well, he's behind the line of scrimmage, about the 39. Line of scrimmage at the 41. 3rd down and 16. 3:50. The snap. Belt high to Smith. He looks out left side, intended for Palmer. Nearly picked off there. Intended for Blake Palmer. Jaron Petty had hands on it. Dropped it as he went down to the ground. 4th down and long to go. Here comes the punt team again. And they'll be hoping for a better snap, although last time worked out in their favor. 3:42 left. Lyman over Big Piney, 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. They have the point spread covered at the moment for the point differential and the inside track to a home playoff game next week. This is a good snap. Brewer puts everything into it down at the 26-yard line. Tegan Elliott tries to make a move to get past Palmer. Big block comes in and no flags. It's all legal. Still on his feet out to the 38-yard line where he's brought down. 3:28 on the clock. Jet Piper and Farmers Insurance bringing you the fourth quarter and perhaps the last drive and chance for Big Piney of this contest. Marked at the 38. Well, if Big Piney had a kicker right now, they may be looking for field goal, because even if they lose this game but they lost by less than 4, they would still be on the track to get a home playoff game in the number 2 seed. Right side, Pluid scrambles, pressured by Bradshaw. Dickerson just misses a sack to the 44, pushed out of bounds and steps over the sign of Hagen Lamoureux. Some of the freshmen come out and punch that back in. 6-yard gain on the run for Pluid, pushed out of the pocket. Pluid's been in ever since the third quarter when Caden Raza was sacked down by Romecum. And he was not right. He stayed in for a couple of plays, but then was replaced by Pluid, who was a receiver. At the 44, 2nd down and 4 to go. 3:20. Clock is still stopped. Wait for the snap and it will start. Low snap to Pluid. Looks out left side. Pocket collapses, and a holding call on Thomas will bring the play back unless the play behind, as Chevy Fackrell brought him down in the backfield at the 40. I think they'll decline that. Pluid was brought down at the 40. The holding penalty, they do take it. It was at about the 40-yard line as well, so that makes it 2nd down and long instead of 3rd and about 8. Marked at the 29. 1st down marker at the 48. 19 yards to go for a 1st down. 4 receivers, Two either side. No, it's a four receivers, three to the right, one to the left. One back is Hughes, protecting for Pluitt. He rolls out, overthrown, picked up by Jed Dickerson at the 30. And Lyman has the ball. It came back out, and I think Lyman picked it up. It's into the hands of Richie Brewer for Lyman. And the Eagles take over. The interception by Jed Dickerson, and then the ensuing fumble recovered by Brewer. Lyman ball. 2:47 left in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. Marked at the 30. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Play of the game by Jet Dickerson with the interception late in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance fourth. Lamoureux to the left and a step behind the shotgun. Has Brewer in the front, takes the handoff, does Lamoureux. He's pushed forward, looked like a face mask there, nothing called. At the 26. Lamoureux picks up about 5. More importantly, the clock keeps moving. All 3 timeouts. Is that just 1 or 2? Big Piney down to their final timeout. 177 yards for Lamoureux. And they've got the point differential matched out, so it looks like if they can hold on here, Lyman set to hold a home playoff game next week against either Thermopolis or Burns. Those two teams play each other as well. Lamoureux, the handoff. Back to the 25. Not too much past that, maybe a yard. Clock under 2 minutes. Give them 1 yard. 3rd down and 4. A first down here, and Lyman has secured a victory in Week 8 on senior night. Jet Dickerson with the interception. He then fumbled it, and Richie Brewer picked it up. Proudly proclaimed the ball to be his as he displayed it above his head coming out of the pile. Handoff up the middle to Lamoureux, short of the first down yarder, but the pile continues to push. And they finally whistle it dead to the 22. As about a yard or 2 short. See when it was whistled, forward momentum had stopped. Timeout taken by Big Piney. 70 seconds in the game. We'll take it with them. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman over Big Piney.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Lyman leads Big Piney late in the fourth quarter. It's 4th down and 3 to go. Lyman football. And they're going for it. 23-yard marker is where is the line of scrimmage at. They need to get it to the 20. Smith in the shotgun. Has Lamoureux to the right. It's a direct snap to Lamoureux. He got it to the 20. Dale Anderson pumps his fist. Lyman has picked up the first down, and they will win today. 6-0. That's your final because that's the point differential they needed. They needed 4 points. They got them by 6. The first down by Hagan Lamoureux. Across, they needed 3 yards, and he picked up 4 on his 29th carry. The 4-yard gain, none bigger than Lamoureux getting it in to the 19. Victory formation for Carter Smith, who had to come back from injury, a strained LCL, setting up at the 15. Pardon me, the 19. 36 seconds. Smith takes a knee. Lyman has won, and they will be the number 2 seed in the West. 1-2 from Bridger Valley, Mountain View 1, Lyman 2. They celebrate, and Big Piney, defeated, walks off to the far sideline. 6-0, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A 31-yard touchdown. The difference by Hagen Lamoureux, the workhorse today. 29 carries for 182 yards, and none bigger, unless it was that touchdown, than that 4-yard gain to finish it off. An interception by Jet Dickerson gave the ball back to Lyman with the chance to run out the clock, and that's exactly what they did. The clock has hit zeros. 6-0 the final. Lyman beats Big Piney the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as we close out the Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. We'll be back with post-game coverage next on this First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance. If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Franklin. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years are the lasting friendships that I've formed with many of my patients. My staff is really great, and we try hard to make sure that every patient feels a warm welcome. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or if you've been with us for years. Every patient is welcome and always appreciated. Our goal is to provide the best dental care possible at reasonable rates. Please call us today to schedule your appointment at 307-789-8910.
Go Red Devils!
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Welcome back to the field here. Lyman High School has just defeated Big Piney 6-0, and I've got Ro Meekum with me right now. Ro, how many sacks you have today?
I can't quite remember. That was a real fun game.
I would say 3 or 4 if I can remember
I think I had 3 or 4
Yeah.
for you down. This game, defensive driven, 6-0 the final, and it all starts with a goal line stand at the 2-yard line. How are you able, as you guys have all year long, going back to Big Piney when you had that goal line stand, how have you guys been able to pull that defense forward and just keep everyone out of the end zone like you did today?
We just worked as brothers, in practice, working hard, and, iron sharpens steel, We work hard every day, become better, and become closer as brothers to win, and we're going to the playoffs as number 2.
You're number 2, the home playoff game. It's been quite a while for Lyman.
Yeah.
To last time the state championship 2012. What were you? Were you in elementary school?
No, I was actually living in Virginia. I moved here later on.
Okay, so you don't even remember that, but Lyman football has got a shot in the arm this year. You guys also have a winning season. 4-2 final. Coming into this week at Big Piney, what was your focus defensively? What were you focusing on all practice, all week long?
We were focusing on, trying to keep them inside, stop the quarterback from throwing because we knew what they wanted to throw a lot. So we just kind of stopped them from throwing, and they tried to come out. We stopped them on the outside and, tried to intercept every throw they play.
They had working early on with all the passes completed. When did it switch around in your favor?
Kind of towards it got better towards after the half. A lot of the backers, I'm feeling a bit off, but I think towards the end they definitely got their head in the game.
Was there any adjustment that you made on the field as a team that changed the pressure and started to get through to the line?
Sorry, what?
Was there any change strategically as you guys made when you started to get those sacks piling up? Was there anything different that the coaches were out there calling?
No, not really much. Just stick to your job and play with all your heart. That's mostly what we did.
All right, Ro.
Sorry.
Ro, so no, you're good. So Ro, going to the playoffs next week. You've been wreaking havoc on the defensive side out there. Is defense your favorite side of the ball out of the two?
Yes, totally.
Why is that?
I just like getting a nice hit on the quarterback and working as hard as I can to stop the ball, and just supporting my team and even getting a sack and possibly even going for a touchdown.
Hey, Ro. Congratulations, your team now into the playoffs, and right here next week we'll be here to join you.
Right.
Congratulations and good luck.
You too.
All right, that was Ro Meekum joining us post-game. We'll take a break, come back with final stats next after this on a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com. Lyman defeats Big Piney into the playoffs, and with the number 2 seed, they'll be right here next week. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Lyman Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNYN 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to MyLocalRadio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at MyLocalRadio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun.
Welcome back to the post-game coverage here at Lyman High School as Lyman has defeated Big Piney 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A stand for Lyman in the fourth quarter, capped off by an interception by Jet Dickerson. He's the recipient of our Dr. McKay Franco Precision Play of the game today, and as I'm told, he was the one given the low snap that on fourth down that resulted in the 17-yard gain by Preston Brewer. So I was just telling his dad, I guess that works out too, because just like peanut butter, sometimes mistakes end up being great things. So Jet Dickerson, hey, it's not always precise, but it's called that. The Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game, affordable dentistry in Evanston, bringing you precision plays of the game throughout the season in all sports for Lyman and Mountain View. For stats today, I've got Hagen Lamrose, the workhorse, 29 carries, 182 yards, and the 31-yard score. That was the difference in today's game. 31 yards for Carter Smith on 5 carries, and 1 of 3 passing, completion of 15 yards. That to Preston Brewer. Preston Brewer had 59 yards on 7 carries as well, and then that was it. That's all the stats we got for Lyman. On to the Big Piney side. It was a good throwing day for Caden Raza until he was knocked out of the game. 141 yards on 13 of 14 passing, and he was held out of the end zone despite getting to the 2-yard line with how much time was that was in the first drive. It was on the 2-yard line. They had 4 downs to get there and stopped on 4th and goal. Chevy Fackrell with a big pass break up there. It was let's see, Brian Pluid coming in the third quarter when Raza was out and hurt. He got sacked by, I think it was Meekum on that one, that knocked him out of the game late in the third. He stayed in a couple more plays, but then had to get out of there. Pluid goes 1 of 2 for 15 yards on a completion. Leading receiver today was Tegan Elliott, 63 yards on 5 catches, and he could have been over 100. He had a 58-yard reception that was called back, and that also probably was a big miss. It kind of gets lost in the shuffle of all the misses that Big Piney had today to get on the board, but that one just as big as any. That was a third down play that up the middle of crossing patterns that Raza was having with his receivers throughout this contest, just 4 yards up the field and then cut up the middle, and it was open. That was a 58-yarder called back for holding, however, and that was kind of the drive staller for that play. Let's see, who else do we have? Dalton Bell, 39 yards on 3 catches, 28 yards on 4 from Brian Pluid, 7 yards on 1 catch for Liam Hughes. And that does it for me on receptions throughout the day. Raza had 3 carries, 6 yards, and then 9 yards on 1 carry by Tegan Elliott on an end around. 4 yards on 2 carries from Liam Hughes. Lucas with 1 carry for 2 yards, and Brian Pluid, 29 on 12 carries. We'll take a break, give you our final stats, and then get you set for tomorrow as we have Mountain View football and Mountain View Lyman volleyball tomorrow on the dial for you as we'll be finishing out this busy week and getting ready for the playoffs next week. This is a First Bank presentation of Lyman football on MyLocalRadio.com. With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the 2 schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected. Back here post-game, just adding up some of the final stats. No points for Big Piney as they lose to Lyman, and Lyman is the number 2 team in the playoffs from the west side. Mountain View wraps up the number 1 last week, and this week Lyman wraps up number 2 on a Thursday. They had a quick turnaround, playing on Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was all they had to get ready for a Thursday at 3 p.m. kickoff to go out and play. 156 yards total passing for Big Piney and 50 yards rushing means they finished the game with 206 yards of total offense. Not too far behind Lyman at 287 through 272 through the ground and 15 through the air on 1 completion. Hagen Lamoureux, the difference maker in today's game. He picked up that final first down needed to run out the clock. He also got the touchdown of 31 yards. That was in the second quarter with 7:50 left to play. Well, the game started with a turnover on downs for Big Piney. That was after a punt from Lyman, who started off the game, and it was from the 15-yard line. Big Piney took the punt all the way down to the 2, and on a 4th and 2 play to goal to get into the goal, a little out route I think it was actually a little curl back in. I think it was Elliott out there. Chevy Fackrell batted it away and turned the ball over back to Lyman. And then there was 3 turnover on downs for Big Piney today. For Lyman, there was 3 as well. Not a whole lot of drives today. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in all for Lyman, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 for Big Piney. It all ended as Jet Dickerson, with 3:24 left in the fourth quarter, intercepted the pass from Brian Pluid. He fumbled it, but it was then picked up by Richie Brewer. And with that, a first down was all Lyman needed, and that's what they got on 4th and 3, a 4-yard carry by Hagen Lamoureux. That touchdown run coming with 7:50 left in the second quarter, 73-yard drive, 2:20 time of possession. And I thought at 6-0, I asked the guys to the left of me as we got ready for the third quarter, I said over under 0.5 touchdowns the remainder of this game. And I put it at 0.5 because the way the game was going, I thought, one's going to win it maybe because all you need is that extra point and you're ahead of Lyman if you're Big Piney. And I've seen a lot of Big Piney games. This is kind of a Big Piney classic game that they've run this year. And I'd say as a whole, they kind of controlled the tempo today, but it was certainly Lyman's defense that made the difference. The sacks of Roe Meekum, Preston Brewer, up the middle, Hanson Bradshaw, Braxton Saby, the interception by Jet Dickerson, the secondary defense. There was secondary sacks and then there was front line sacks. And there was a lot of times where it was first Raza and then Pluid had time in the pocket. And then it collapsed because there was simply nobody open downfield. And those, I don't know if they went away from those slants up the middle or whether Lyman just simply went to that zone coverage and didn't let anything really get open in that middle of the field. But it dried up, and any throws down the sideline or anything just weren't really there. So the pressure just continued to mount up. Hearing from Roe Meekum, the sophomore from Lyman, post-game, excited to have a home football game as Lyman has not hosted a football game since, I believe, 2013 is that first season after the state championship. This Dale Anderson's 8th year as a head coach, went undefeated and was 12-0 on his way to a state championship back in 2012. Well, they're the number 2 seed, and they'll play either Burns or Thermopolis next week. And take a look quickly at Wyoming football down to the playoff scenarios, as Mountain View is the number 1 seed. Big Piney is now either the 3 or the 4, and I think they're locked in as the 3 seed. Yeah, they're locked in as the 3 seed because Lovell was losing in that point differential, and Big Piney would have had to lose by more than 11 to shift that differential in favor of Lovell. So Lovell's the 4. They will play Buffalo next week. Mountain View, they have Wheatland. And then it's either Burns or Thermopolis who play each other tomorrow with home field on the line for them. And the loser will play Lyman. The victor in that Burns-Thermopolis game will play Big Piney. Handed out everything. We should be all good. We'll be here next week as we're trying to make sure everything's covered. So I'm told that Mountain View will be covered by the station out of Green River. So we'll be here with Lyman next week against either Burns or Thermopolis. Tentatively, we'll make an official statement on Facebook here shortly after the final of that is determined. And maybe even later today I'll be able to get a hold of the proper people to do that. Tomorrow, we have Mountain View football. That's exclusively on mylocalradio.com. Grable doesn't send anyone for the radio, and Green River will not be there, so it's only us if you want to get it there for video coverage. Our last video broadcast for football of the season, and then we'll go into the playoffs with our audio coverage as well. That's a 2:20 pregame, a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then after that game goes final of Mountain View Grable, I'll be rushing over to Mountain View High School Gymnasium to set up for Lyman versus Mountain View volleyball. That'll start at about 7 o'clock scheduled time. That'll do it for us from here. Thanks for listening. Join us tomorrow, 2:20 p.m., and then about 6:40 p.m. for pregame coverage of volleyball on mylocalradio.com. Jake Hibbard signing off.
The preceding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this mylocalradio.com exclusive of Lyman Eagles Athletics. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our website for more information about future Lyman broadcasts, or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the games. Until next time, go Eagles!